Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on.
Hello, welcome everybody. I am Pixel, and we are Ages of Einar. Welcome to the unbelievable, the expositiously delicious, action-packed first episode of Ages of Einar presents the Regent of Bedegar. We are back once again with our bevy of Bedegarian adventurers, including several familiar faces, and some new blood gracing our screen as well. I will be your dungeon master this evening, as we continue our adventures in the Barony of Bedegar. This adventure... Let's see how many times I can say that word. This adventure, The Regent of Bedegar, is found in the D&D 5e supplement Kingdoms and Warfare by MCDM. Both the adventure and the book are a follow-up to MCDM's first book, Strongholds and Followers. The adventure that we finished about a month ago was the prior adventure to this, so this adventure will follow narratively from the end of the last one, and will carry on with largely the same cast. However, if you haven't seen that last adventure, you should still be good to jump in on this. The story should make perfect sense, and we will give you enough to kind of get you hooked into where we're at. If you did miss that and you would like to go back and catch any of those previous episodes, they are on our YouTube. So, before we begin, I'm going to jump into our usual housekeeping things. First things first, folks. When you're hanging out in chat, please try to remember, when we move on to map screens, that the stream that you are seeing is the DM perspective. So you may see things on your screen that the players don't see and don't know about. So please try not to spoil those things. There may be monsters in the next room or whatever, hidden things, secret doors, that kind of stuff. Please try not to talk about those in chat until any of the players have noticed them, because they may be hanging out with you guys in chat, and if you tell them about things that they don't know about, you may degrade their experience of playing the game, which for us is kind of the primary thing. We definitely want our friends here to be having more fun. That is more important than any other part of the stream, basically. So please try not to do that. Secondly, please remember that D&D is a complex game with a lot of rules, and spoiler alert, we're adding a shitload more. These Strongholds and Followers and Kingdoms and Warfare books both add a bunch of really crunchy mechanics to the game that have to do with how to operate a high-level organization of, followers that you send off to do stuff. There's warfare battles that are meant to simulate big battles between, armies like Hobbit and Lord of the Rings type of shit. So all of that just adds more things to remember for all these guys, and none of them are professional learn about D&D people. So that we're all trying our best here. So please, no judgment. We may forget stuff. I may fuck things up. I may change things in the adventure. So just try to have a little grace. No one's ever had an issue. Frankly, I don't think any of you know this stuff better than we do at this point. But if you have popped in and you're like a huge MCDM fan person and you're like, oh my god, they got that mechanic wrong, I'm sorry. We're doing our best, okay? Thirdly, we want to keep this space as open and welcoming a place as we can to the extent that that's possible on the internet. So we do try to keep that internet toxicity to a minimum. So we won't be putting up with anyone being abusive or hateful in chat, whether that's to other viewers or to our players on stream regarding things like their character choices, their knowledge of the game or the rules, frankly, anything else about them as people or how we play the game. I doubt that is going to be a problem, but we do always want to remind you guys how we do things here. Also, a reminder, we do release the show on YouTube and on our podcast after each episode during the following week, so if you happen to miss an episode or you have to miss part of this to go get some food or go to sleep because you're tired or whatever, don't worry about it. You can still catch it on YouTube during the following week. And then, of course, last thing, before we begin, I would like us to go around and cast if you'd introduce your characters. Nope. If you'd introduce yourselves, but not your characters, I can read my own writing. If you can introduce yourselves, but not your characters before we begin, And at this point, some of you may have chat inspiration left over from the last kind of adventures we did, so please let them know who that is as well. That would be super helpful. But people in chat, I would ask you to wait to start throwing inspiration to these guys till we get into the game proper. Just because I don't want you to all, like, flood it out there before we even start the game. So, as far as interesting cast goes, we are going to start with Bonus Mom.
Pixel, you have two of your players in the wrong screen. Our two new players.
No,
you do.
I'm
They
so
need to be
sorry.
switched.
Oh,
You need to
I'm a
switch them.
failure.
While I am telling you all that, I
failure.
am Bonus Mom.
I failed. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Can I go now?
Sure.
And I am everywhere. I'm just like your real mother. You cannot get away from me. I am on TikTok. I am on Twitch. I am on Facebook. I am on podcast. Anywhere you find a podcast, Bonus Mom's Tavern is there. But if elected to the federal government, I will not serve. And other than that, hey, good to be here.
All right. For the first time gracing our lovely little Dungeons and Dragons live actual play is our friend Kyla. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hey friends, I'm Kyla. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Huzzah! Also a new face, gracing our screen for the first time. Actually, not the first time. Daniel has been on the very first Ages of Einor show that we ever did, Horde of the Dragon Queen, and on the level 21 shot, but probably new to many of you. Daniel, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Daniel. Sorry, retake. Yeah, I'm Daniel. I've been playing D&D for a little bit now, and I'm just excited to be able to be on Age of Einor to be able to role play with these wonderful people.
Huzzah!
I do not have chat inspiration.
Yes,
And
neither.
I do.
Okay.
I do have it.
Right. So Perdita does. Neither of our new folks have chat inspiration yet. Beast.
Oh, hey there, friends. I'm Beast. That's it.
All right, Jesse.
Hey guys, I am Jesse. I am the Jokage of the Village Hidden in the Memes. You can check me out at YouTube/SpectroSofa, somewhere on the internet, and I do stupid shit over there all the time. So after you're done consuming all of Pixel and Bonus Mom's content, you can give me a try. But yeah, excited to be back finally. Woo!
Huzzah.
And love you guys. Thanks for being here. And yeah, so let's get started.
Excellent. And
I have chat inspiration. Do not give me inspiration. I am too inspired.
How about Jesse?
I am also inspired by chat, so thank you.
very good. Excellent. And of course, last but certainly never least, Taylor.
Oh, hold on.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's a bad bitch.
My goodness.
That was great. That was good.
Hey everybody, I'm Taylor. I know you didn't forget about me. I'm so excited to be back. And I figured out how to do backgrounds.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Starting and getting us off to a great start there, friends. Well, as always, I'm Pixel. I'm your Dungeon Master here for most of the shows that we do and have done on Ages of Einor. You can also find me on twitch.tv/hammerandpixel, where I do game streams, stuff like that. We just started a playthrough of Final Fantasy II. I'm going to be doing probably all the Final Fantasies in order, among other things. So that's very exciting and fun. And I do these. So we have this stream, and then next Friday we will be alternating. Episode 2 of this will not air until the 21st, but next week we will have Curse of Strahd with our good friend Vincent Page. So that is all very fun, and we are super glad you guys have joined us this evening. And of course, without further ado, now that we know who our players are, let's get right into it. The day dawns, cold and gray. Clouds hide the normally cheerful, bright sun behind a wall of mottled gray mist, high above the roofs of Bedegar Keep. From the imposing gates of the keep itself, on the banks of the river Andover, to the north of the city, we wend our way through wide streets in the early morn. Streets quiet with the damp solitude of heavy fog, bereft of their usual busyness at this early hour, until we reach the town square. A large, empty plaza of cobbled stones is dominated on its southern end by unoccupied gallows, a massive wooden construction built for the snuffing of human lives in the name of what passes for justice in this land. But the death which occupies this place today is not the execution of the will of Lord Saxton, the Usurper. Today, a small crowd has gathered to look at a different kind of spectacle. Set in the center of the gallows is a grisly pair of objects. One is a man's head, beginning to decay. In life, he was bald but bearded, with brown eyes and dark hair. A dark beard, really. Now his dead eyes see nothing. The back of the dead head has been caved outward by some force, as if something violently clawed its way through the skull and scalp to burst into freedom. Next to the head is a nearly cooked sprawl of meat and bone, but it is clear to any onlooker that this creature is alien. Sharp, chitinous claws attached to the base of a blackened, bony spine, which runs into the brown and gray blob of folded meat. A large brain, the pattern of color in the dead nerve tissue seeming to show that it had been cooked by some irregular electrostatic discharge of violent proportions. No one in the crowd knows what that thing is, but they know it doesn't belong here. They are scared. In the mouth of the dead man's head is stuffed the edge of a long white surcoat, spilling out over the edge of the gallows, spattered with blood, and the saints can only imagine what else. The emblem, still visible through the stains on the cloth, is of several twisted black roses, flapping as a bit of wind begins to stir the air and blow away the fog in the streets of the city. Sir Peloton, the Star Knight, Knight of the Rose, is dead. And nailed through the wood at the edge of the gallows is a carefully written note, in simple language that even the uneducated might understand. Lord Saxton's monsters don't control you anymore. This is the result of their tyranny. Peloton is dead, and soon Saxton himself will follow. Join us at Castle Rend and fight for your freedom. We stand with you if you stand against this abomination. A small crowd of hushed onlookers gather and stare at the grim tableau, until a large figure in shining armor arrives. She is wearing striking silver armor, and her surcoat matches the stained one on the gallows. She carries an enormous battle hammer and shouts to the scattered crowd, who immediately flee. She approaches the offered insult in the form of her former comrade and stares stone-faced at the dead eyes. Her eyes narrow and her mouth sets, her expression managing to become even more grim. This message, whatever its meaning, is received. Months have passed since the gray morn when Peloton's head was discovered. Over those months, the whole of Bedegar bustles with activity. War is coming, and everyone knows it. The upstart Count Silas Blackhand of Rend has killed a Knight of the Rose, and made a public spectacle of Lord Saxton's failure. Rumors fly that Edmund, the youngest child of old Baron Edmund Bedegar, still lives and is being protected at Castle Rend, advised by Count Silas and his strange band of elves, catfolk, and even stranger beings. They say that the refugees of Territon are being welcomed in Rend, even as Territon itself, a once thriving farming community, is now run as a prison camp through the harvest season. The victory over Peloton's forces last summer stretches into the past, as the late summer gives way to fall and the harvest, as Gravesford works tirelessly to provide food for their new count, and the workers rebuilding his castle, as well as the refugees. The months are hard, but with a spirit of community they pull through. Winter comes, cold and dark, but the lights never go out in Castle Rend, as people come and go at all hours. Strategy meetings, and intelligence reports, and training, and the founding of a noble court keep many people up late, burning the midnight oil. Spring follows winter, and there is a palpable tension in the air. Everyone knows, with the crops planted and the weather changing, war is coming soon. It is only a matter of time. 9 months have passed since Sir Peloton was slain. Only weeks remain until blood is shed anew. We approach Castle Rend on the first properly warm summer day. There is activity everywhere. The ruined castle over these long months has been repaired. The walls stand high. The gates stand tall. The once caved-in roof has been restored. The upper levels of the keep now habitable once again. And we make our way into the keep itself. And at this point, I would like everyone to roll me a d20. Uh-oh. People moved.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice! What a start.
Huzzah. Oh, wow.
Nice,
High rolls.
big
You guys are
ballers.
way familiar high rolls.
LOL, Jesse.
Damn, Jesse got wrecked. Okay, who am I missing? I've got Jesse.
I'm about to take that
Taylor,
inspiration back.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Who am I missing? Beast?
Just a straight 20.
Straight 20.
Bam. 16.
Okay. Okay, so you and Taylor have the same one. We'll have you guys do a roll off here in a second. But, so we sort of enter, and as we approach the castle with its walls remade high... Oh, yes, thank you, Ace. If you all would please, when you roll things, just speak them out loud. So folks listening to this on the podcast version know what we have rolled. So I'll just call them out this time as I call on you guys. Daniel, who rolled a nat 20, where do we find your character? And if you would please sort of describe where they are and what they are doing as we approach the castle.
So Solomon is probably out by maybe where the food and stuff is prepared, but he's probably outside, and he's probably splitting the wood that they use for the wood stoves in order to make the food.
Excellent.
That's pretty much what he's doing.
Yeah, so we approach, and we kind of the camera sort of pans and makes its way around the side of the castle to this massive wood pile. Of course, this castle exists in a clearing in the Forest of Rend, so there is plenty of wood here, and over the course of several months, the trees surrounding the castle have been thinned out just a bit, as folks have needed firewood for the winter and for cooking and all sorts of various things. And we see an individual probably not wearing full armor at this point, so wearing, sort of breeches and maybe like a loose kind of linen shirt, taking an axe, a wood chopping axe, and splitting logs. Would you please physically describe Solomon in this moment?
So Solomon probably tries to keep his appearance, and he's probably kind of got like a natural split in his hair, and he's kind of got his hair slicked back. And I would say that he's not, he's a very handsome man, and he's 6'2.5", and he's just, from the look of him, he's kind of built from probably couple of years of combat training and stuff.
Yeah, and he has, I believe, sort of pale white hair and sort of uncanny pale eyes as well. Quite a striking individual, but very, very large. And he's sort of like chopping wood. Basically, he's like that guy on TikTok. You know what I mean? He's just chopping the wood's splitting. And there, maybe the occasional onlooker sort of stops to stare. And moving on from Solomon, we have Perdita. What is Perdita up to at this particular moment?
Perdita rolled a 19 this time, and so that's why she is going next. You will find Perdita where she is almost every morning that she is at the Castle Rend. She is in the exercise room. But wait, that is not the same Perdita that we saw 9 months ago. She is very different. Are those muscles? Have those heavy thighs firmed up and become very strong looking? Yes, they are. And Perdita has found herself a punching bag. Yes, that's what it is. And you know what? It has a very coarse kind of black rose painted on it. And she is hitting it with her paws. But she also kind of over back behind her, and this is very odd. We do not know why she has done this, but she has a wooden cup on a table, and every time she hits the punching bag, you will see that her tail flashes out and knocks the cup as she is knocking it across the table. And that is what Perdita is doing on this first warm summer's day.
Excellent. Yeah, so we see Perdita in the training room on the first floor, just off the west side of the main hall, having a training montage moment as we hear some sort of like 80s distorted guitar play in the background. And we then move to one of our other new faces in the party. Chanterelle, would you please describe where you are and what your character is doing? And you got a 17 on that roll, which is why you're going next.
Thank you. Yes, well, Chanterelle, she goes by Shanty, is creeping through the forest rend, searching for anything she can find that she can dry out and use later in her casting, maybe some snacks for later. And she happens upon a squirrel and knows that there is probably a very hungry mimic who would like that squirrel. So she's going to go ahead and attempt to hunt the squirrel and take it home to feed our friend Garksbrooks.
Yeah, and so what method would she use? Are you casting spells? Are you like wild shaping into something and hunting it literally as another creature? Like what is her, how does she hunt?
I think we're going to save energy, go simple today. Just use a little dagger.
Okay. Is she throwing this dagger, or is she just like running after the squirrel and stabbing it?
I say saving energy, but absolutely, we're just going to scurry through the underbrush for it. We're here. We're doing it. We're in this moment.
That's so funny. Okay, yeah. So we see, and physically, how would you describe? You may have, and I just missed it. How would we describe Chanterelle?
Oh no, well, Chanterelle, she's a bit on the petite side. She's about 5 foot. She's very svelte, and she is a water genasi. So she's kind of got this hair that seems to, move like it's billowing in the water, even if there's no breeze blowing or anything like that. And she is kind of like this aquamarine color, and has these really fun merfolk ears.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, Pixel, this is where I'm going to show being a newbie.
Oh,
how would you like me to go ahead and...
You actually don't have to roll for this. So in these types of vignettes, I typically consider these like establishing shots for your character. So if this is something that you think your character would normally just be able to do, I'm not going to call for really any rolls until we get into other things. So it's up to you. If you think she catches the squirrel, then she catches the squirrel. And if you don't, then she doesn't.
She's going to make more of a game of it than anything else. So we're just going to kind of try to be as quiet as possible, as quick as possible, and see what we can do.
Okay, yeah.
So I believe, So I believe she probably gets very close to the squirrel and kind of plays this cat and mouse game with it, lets it run around and do its thing, and most likely would be able to get it if it's against a tree.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you definitely catch that squirrel.
Excellent. Snacks for Garks.
Excellent. So we see Shanty sort of returning to the keep, having been in the forest, squirrel in tow, and in his customary corner of the main hall, there is a conspicuous-looking treasure chest, just sort of sitting on the floor.
I will walk up to the chest. Shanty will walk up to the chest, and she will say, "Good morning, Garks."
Hey, what's up?
Well, I thought you might be hungry, friend. I've brought you a snack.
And you see in between, so it's a wooden treasure chest, and in between some of the planks in the lid sort of like open up, and these kind of orangish eyes appear in the wood, and as he speaks, we get glimpses in as the top of the head bobs, and there's like, a sort of lolling dark purple tongue articulating these words. And Garks, after many months of having been in contact with the players, speaks common now. So just anyone can communicate with Garks.
Well, that's handy, isn't it?
And Garks is he eyes the squirrel in your hand and says, is that for me?
It's for you, friend. I thought you might be hungry. Would you like it?
Hell yeah.
So she's going to kind of toss it up in the air, almost like you're tossing a snack for someone to catch into their mouth.
Yeah, and his whole head opens up, and just like his tongue sort of lashes out almost frog-like, and like slurps the squirrel into his mouth and begins to chew. And as we move on from that scene, we have two characters who have rolled the same thing. So if I could have Enna and Roz give me a roll-off, please.
That would be a 9.
And you were so down on Jesse earlier. It came back to bite you. So we move and we see Roz. Where do we see Roz in this early afternoon?
Yeah, so Roz is accepting a delivery, one of the regular deliveries to Castle Rend, food and provisions, regular supplies, little things like nails and lumber to patch up the castle, and several personal deliveries, including various bits of letter mail, some of which is addressed to the Count. Others. Oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, you just went
okay
for a second. Some of which is addressed to the Count.
Yes, some of which is addressed to various others, to Edmund himself, from various folks supporting his claim or declaiming the upstart, and where's your proof? How can we be sure you are Edmund? That sort of stuff. She passes that along. And among the folks who are inventorying all of these goods that keep the castle, the beating heart thrumming, many of them are young tabaxi. A great number of tabaxi have come to Rend, have said hi to the Count. There was a brief Olympic Games, which lasted 5.
Uh-oh. We lost Beast, I think, for a second. There was
Can you hear me? Am I current?
Yes. Last thing we heard was Olympic Games.
Yeah, so Tabaxi Olympic Games lasted 5 days. My internet is being screwy. It obviously wants me to wrap this up. Many young Tabaxi stayed and have formed the renewed Hiskers band of Raz Hiskers, the Tabaxi Valor Bard, who I will be playing in this wonderful Regent of Bedegar.
Excellent. And right quick before we move on, would you please describe Roz for us?
Yes, for those of us who were with us in the Siege of Castle Rend adventure, Roz looks a little different. And for those of us joining us anew, this is what Roz looks like. She is a tabaxi. She is a cat folk. She is from a Western continent, not from Bedegar. So she acts a little strange, and she has a curious accent. But she is distantly related to Perdita.
Distantly related to Perdita is what the end of that sentence was. Okay, excellent. And we are going to jump on to Enna. Where do we find Enna today?
Yes. We find Enna in the temple in the castle. And she is praying to her saint. And during this time, she has, in the past 9 months, she's gotten closer to the earth. She spends a lot of time outside to be closer to her saint. Her hair has faded to her natural brown, but it has been kissed by the sun. So she has this ombre orangish hair to her and on the top of her head. And she gets closer to her mouse Arrow as well. And they have many conversations. So she's in the temple praying. Her little mouse is on her lap, just hanging out. And she prays that one day she will find the man who killed her parents.
Excellent. Yeah. So we see Enna in the temple in prayer. And Arrow, the mouse. Does Arrow still have the psychic rock? Whatever happened to that thing?
Oh, yeah. No, Anna got that back. And so she carries it around with her in her bag. So whenever Arrow wants to hang out, she places it next to him and he just puts his paw on it so that they can talk.
Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, there is a psionic crystal, which is, I believe you guys made this Arcana check last time. It's the heart of a sapphire dragon, which is a gemstone dragonborn that imparts psionic powers to whoever holds it. And in the last adventure, of course, Arrow came into contact with this crystal and gained the ability to speak to humorous effect numerous times. So we see the two of them, and then we move to, of course, the Count himself, Silas. Where are you, and what are you up to?
Well, Silas has been training. Let's see, if it's like 7 a.m, he's been up since 5 with Edmund, and they're probably on the tallest part of the battlements of the tower, and he's got Edmund on 1 foot, kind of at the very top of the tower, precariously, like almost about to fall off. Silas has changed his look a little bit, still pulled back hair, but he stands a little straighter now, having been forced to bark orders for 9 months. He's got a little bit of a nicer cape, just to imply that he's important, and he's got some new armor and things. But he's mostly taking care of Edmund, and he's got his rapier in hand, and he's just kind of passing it under Edmund's feet, so that Edmund has to swap between. And he's just saying, "Now the goal is balance. Like everything in life, you must keep on your toes." And whoosh, tries to swap out from under him.
Gotcha.
Not trying to hurt him in any way, but just trying to make sure that he's swapping back and forth.
Yeah, and we see Edmund as well has changed quite a bit. When last we saw Edmund, he was a young boy of barely 13 years old, and he was just sort of in sort of ratty, like, page clothes. They were quite exquisite. They were fine when they were made, but he had been a prisoner of the orcs for a month or two, I think, at that point. And clearly the orcs were not, they didn't employ any seamstresses to repair the prisoner's clothes. But today, and so his hair was a little bit outgrown. And today we see him, he looks quite a bit different. His hair has been trimmed neatly. He's got sort of a side part. His once kind of like boyish and fearful face has hardened quite a bit into a somewhat more kind of a stronger presentation in these last months, and he is now wearing some sort of light studded leather armor. He has this sort of pauldron with a lion's face on it that's been carved for him or hammered out. And he is wielding, of course, the Black Hand Blade, which is Silas's previous sword, which Silas had traded out for a better weapon that they found during the last campaign. But at the moment, he is in all of his armor to, kind of train in combat conditions, and he is doing his best to jump back and forth. Uh-oh, we've lost somebody. Beast again.
Beast. He'll probably be back here in just a second.
He'll be back in a second, I think. There he is. I gotta move people around again. Oop. Internet friends. So that is where we see Silas and Edmund as we begin our adventure. And the day kind of begins to pass, and the sun moves from the morning into high overhead. And Perdita, you notice Willoughby Twobuckle, the gnome who has been acting to some extent as a spy for you all here at Castle Rend, was supposed to report to you at about noon today, and he is late. And you know that is not really like him. He is a thief with the clock, but he has generally been pretty reliable and not somebody who is generally late to meetings. So your appointed time for him to come and go passes. Perdita, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to go find the Count immediately because I know he will want to know this. And so I begin to look throughout the castle. I would start most likely with the grand dining room. Is he having lunch? And so I will look and look until I find the Count of Rend, my friend Silas.
Yeah, I think you do find Silas.
With a very sweaty,
overworked
Edmund.
I think probably most of you all are I'm going to say that most of you all have gathered for lunch. When possible, I think you try to eat together to sort of report in at these meal times, and everyone kind of keep everyone else updated on what they've been doing, what's on the agenda for that day, that kind of stuff. And so I think you all are at the dining hall as Perdita enters a little bit late. You are late, Perdita, because you were waiting on this meeting with Twobuckle, which, hasn't happened. So I think everyone else is kind of like finishing up your meal when Perdita enters the room.
Perdita will enter the room, and immediately catching the eye, hopefully, of the Count, she will nod and say, Monsieur le Comte, I was waiting outside for Twobuckle, as you know, and he should have been here quite a while ago, and, well, he is not here, and I'm extremely concerned. Do you think I should go looking for him? What should we do?
Let's try something else first. Anna, were you able to prepare a sending spell today?
Let me see. I have failed as I have not prepared any spells.
Whoops.
But it's okay. I was too busy talking to Arrow. He had a lot on his mind today. It was a long day for him.
Don't put this on me.
Hey, you watch your mouth.
Well, how long will it take you to do that, dearest Anna?
10 minutes.
Okay, we can hand wave the 10 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
fine.
sorry.
No, you're fine. Anna, if you don't mind sending a quick message to Twobuckle, see if he's okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I got to know him very well during these last months. I worked with him on a situation in Bedegar, and it was really very beneficial to us. Yes, I made much money through that connection, Monsieur le Comte, and I just would not like for anything bad to happen to Tubuckle. So I am determined that we find him, and if something else must happen, that we mount a rescue or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have prepared my spell.
Okay.
So yeah, with
Perdita?
sending, you can send a message of 20 words or less to an individual that you know and you have met Tubuckle. He's the halfling rogue that you guys met at the end of the last adventure who told you that Peloton's army was coming. So, sorry, and Silas, you were speaking.
25 words.
25, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, Perdita, what would you like Anna to say?
I would like you to say, Tubuckle, we are waiting for you at the castle. Has something happened? Must we come to you? Where are you?
Okay. I say that.
Okay.
You don't have to do the accent if you don't want to. He will know it is me.
Tubaka, oui, oui. Croissant. So sorry.
Perdita's like, what accent? What do you mean? All right, sorry.
Okay. Okay. I gotta count these to make sure.
Pretty sure oui, oui is one word.
Yeah. Okay, so you hear back, Anna. Oh shit! I'm in the woods running my ass off from owlbears and soldiers. Help, please! I'm northwest of the castle.
Okay. Our guy says he's running his ass off from where?
I believe that I heard northwest of the castle through your ear because I was listening very closely.
Sorry, I had croissants on my mind. Got hungry.
Oh, we must go. Do I have your leave to go?
Whole
or
campaign
would you all
derailed
like
because
to go?
Tubuckle dies because you guys can't find him because I can't remember what he said 2 seconds ago.
No, we must go. Will you all go with me or should I go alone? I'm going
Let's go.
now.
No, we go. We go.
Solomon immediately goes.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. So, you all race out of the castle on your way to save your friend Tubuckle, who apparently is in some spot of trouble. And that is going to bring us to our first map screen. Let's see here.
Do we have horses?
I feel like the woods, it's going to be hard to take the horses through, like, in a hurry.
Okay.
I think if you guys want to take horses to other parts of the barony, you would go to Gravesford and get them and take them, you know what I mean? But I feel like the underbrush here is enough that is like thick enough that it's really hard to ride a horse through it, you know? People who know things about horses may know that that's bullshit. I don't know anything about horses, but that's what I'm going to say.
I'm
you're right.
missing.
Okay, so
Yeah, uneven terrain, you'll break your horse's ankles.
It will.
yeah, so
100%. Pixel, I'm missing from the map. Sorry for interrupting.
oh, thank you. There you are. Okay, and you guys can move yourself into whatever marching order you think you would be in. You have come from the southeast corner of this map, and you're headed to the northwest.
Well, I feel like that Perdita would have used her feline agility. Now, truly, that is something that happens in the actual combat, but yet she would take off on all fours and she would leap and run as quickly as she could. And so she would dash. And I feel like as a result of that, Perdita would be in front.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think Roz would be able to pick up. Probably not quite as fast, as Roz has gained a little bit of weight in these past 9 months.
Oh, no, you
But,
don't say.
But just behind Perdita. Perdita, this new food, cheese, is quite delicious.
Well, if you would meet me in the training room, you wouldn't have this problem. We must go. And quickly.
Okay, what about everybody else? So we've got Perdita and Roz kind of in the front.
Silas is going to line up next to Enna and send Charlie as far ahead as he can, kind of hovering within like 30 feet over Perdita and Roz, but enough where he can kind of get an aerial visual.
Okay.
And then as he's next to Enna, just kind of place his hand on her shoulder every few seconds and just kind of flash into Charlie and then come back. And then like just so he can kind of get glimpses of what's going on.
Gotcha. Yeah, make a perception check with Charlie's stats.
Oh yeah, with Charlie's stats. He's an owl.
14. Yeah, I think
that
14,
big hot 14.
I think 14 is high enough that you notice. I'm going to move you guys a little bit because if Charlie's running ahead, you probably notice Charlie's probably like up here, and the rest of you are probably a little further back. Perdita, Roz. All right, and then in terms of marching order during the rest of this, Solomon and Shanty, put your guys' selves in front of or behind Enna and Silas as you think you would be, and then I will describe what Charlie sees.
Beans.
Okay, very good. And so Charlie hears and then turns his head sort of just as you look over, or just as you look into his eyes, Silas, to notice that to the west of where you guys are, you see a halfling man sort of like scrambling through the underbrush, like running, and you see behind him 3 owl bears bursting through the underbrush as Willoughby sort of like skids and hops over a downed tree. So you can kind of see like amber rays of sunlight filtering through the canopy as you guys are sort of weaving through these massive and gnarled trees of Forest Rend in search of Willoughby Twobuckle, who of course was supposed to meet you. The last missive that you had from him, Perdita, indicated that he was planning to deliver, quote, something big, and was supposed to meet you at the castle, but was late. And you see him sort of tumble over this, let's see, I'll just do his thing, so that's, and I think with his bonus action dash, he's got enough to get just to the edge of the clearing, and he spots you guys and says, hey, are these your old owlbears? 'Cause they're trying to kill me, and that would upset a lot of people, mostly me. And then, these brown feathered owlbears are like rushing into the clearing after him and hooting and echoing. It's kind of like a weird mix between something that sounds like Chewbacca and a giant owl hooting at the same time. If everyone would please roll initiative. And if you would click on your token before you roll, it'll put you in the turn order. And I am gonna...
Solid 23 start for Roz.
Nice.
A respectable 9.
Ouch.
Let me roll.
Well, I thought I clicked my character, but apparently I did not, and I rolled a 17.
Yeah, I thought I did too. I rolled a 10. Sorry.
Okay, 1 second. I will deal with
Oh,
that.
Don't forget to add your dex if you're just rolling a d20.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
For the new folks on d20, on your main part of your sheet, initiative is at the very top next to armor class. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. All is well. Okay, so Perdita, what was your number?
I don't know. A 17.
Shanty, you rolled a 3. What's your dex mod?
Sorry, I'm pulling up my sheet now. I'm still getting used to the stuff and things. It's 1.
Okay, so that's a 4. And Enna, what was your initiative?
11.
11. Okay. Bloop. Okay, am I missing anybody? I've got Roz, Perdita, Enna, Silas, Solomon, and Shanty. Is that everybody? Okay. All right, excellent. So, Roz, you see Willoughby sort of like burst out of the underbrush coming off of this side path. It's hard to see. You can see a little bit through the trees, but it's hard. But you can hear and probably smell these owl bears. I put this up here, maybe. These owl bears over bursting through the brush off to the west. What would you like to do?
Roz is going to use her feline agility to scamper up into a tree to give herself a little bit of advantage. And she has a climbing speed of 20 feet.
Okay.
So she's going to climb up, jangling as she does, wearing her new armor, is studded with little rivets and bells that tend to clank together, a bit jester-like. She is going to concentrate on the area in between the owlbears here and cast slow.
Okay.
She's going to alter time around up to 6 creatures of her choice within a 40-foot cube, within 120 feet, which I believe fits the bill. Each target must succeed a wisdom saving throw, or their speed is halved. They have a -2 to their AC and dex saves, and they can't use reactions. And on their turn, they can use an action or a bonus action, but not both.
Okay, very good.
And that
what's your
spell
DC?
save is 15.
Okay, and we're doing wisdom saves. I'm going to go top to bottom.
How wise do you think owl bears are, folks?
Pretty wise.
Okay, one of them. So the first owl bear in the north, which you can actually see is a little bit wounded from here. You can see that Willoughby has fought that owlbear to somewhat and fired a few sort of hand crossbow bolts into the thing. It succeeds the save with a nat 20. The other two get a 7 and a 2, so they fail and are slowed. So I'm going to put these little snail markers on them to indicate that for you guys. Yeah, so this one is bursting through, and then you guys see this other, like, uncanny thing happen to the rest of them where, like, all of a sudden they're kind of moving in slow motion. Roz, what exactly does it look like or sound like, or, you know?
Yeah.
How does Roz cast slow?
Roz sort of takes a tree pose on the branch of this tree and begins to sort of calmly purr to herself. And gradually that purr grows into rarefied air that sort of is lobbed out of the tree through the sky and lands in kind of this weird bubble, which causes the owl bears to slow.
Excellent. Okay, so that is your action.
And as a bonus action, Roz would like to grant bardic inspiration to Perdita. Perdita, save the little fool. And that's it for Roz.
Alrighty, and this one, we are now on the first owlbear, who is going to continue moving towards Willoughby. Ooh, just barely out of range. Yeah, range is only 5 feet. So this thing has to dash to get all the way up to Willoughby Two-Buckle. I'm going to say he gets all the way, like, right there. Dashes all the way up to Willoughby Two-Buckle, but had to use all of its movement to get there, and does not have anything left to attack. Which brings us to Willoughby Two-Buckle, who says, "Oh, shit!" And he is going to use his cunning action to use a bonus action to disengage, and is going to run and hide behind this bush next to Perdita. And he's going to fire his hand crossbow. This thing is going to have cover. Let's see. I feel like that's at least half cover. I think half cover is a +2 to AC. He is going to roll on this. Oof, yeah, that's not going to do it. So he's a little scared, and he's been running, and so his aim is shaky, and he fires, and the bolt just sort of sticks into the tree down below where Roz is. And that is it for...
Watch where you are shooting.
And he gets 2 attacks, but he's got a crossbow, which has a reloading feature, so he has to, like, start reloading the crossbow. And that is it for Willoughby, but Perdita is up next. You're muted, Perdita, if you're trying to talk to us.
Perdita races forward, grabbing her sword as she goes, races right up on the owlbear, and plunges her short sword deep beneath the feathers of his whatever it would be, his back or his stomach, whichever way he is standing. So she's going to short sword him.
Okay.
She will hiss aside to Buckle as she goes and say, "Hide yourself and be quiet, you silly fool."
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make your attack roll.
I want to check something briefly first, you know?
Okay.
And, oh, no, I can't do that.
You will have sneak attack.
I will have sneak attack if I do it because you're up the tree. The DM is counting that.
Yeah,
all right,
count
thank you so much.
I mean, owlbears
Okay.
are the size of bears, so this thing's like 8 feet tall, right? So it's,
All right. So
and
I
the tree
race
is
up
not
upon
tall
it.
enough to get Roz out of the way. So
I race up upon it and I stab at it with my short sword and my newfound, extremely adorable and strong muscles in my fighting arm.
okay, yeah, go ahead.
And I roll a 23, so obviously my muscles are in good shape today.
Yeah, 23 hits for sure.
All right, so I do my short sword, and then how do I do my sneak attack? I hit it on my page?
Yeah, I think so.
And
Because he didn't add it, so I have to do it.
you can also use the Bardic Inspiration that Roz gave you to add to your damage roll.
All right,
And,
well, I will
and
do
that is a
also.
D8.
Yeah,
A
'cause
D8.
Roz
I
is a
didn't
Valor
write that
Bard, and
down.
that's a Valor Bard thing.
All right,
So
so I'm looking for sneak attack so I can roll it. And I'm, of course, not finding it. There it is. It didn't do anything. Ah, here it comes.
okay.
And then I will roll a d8 and I will use my Bardic Inspiration. Oh my goodness, did I really get 16 for the sneak attack?
I mean, I
Or is-
rolled that, but you can use it if you want. I don't think your clicking did it, but it's fine.
So is my sneak attack is not hooked to do that?
No, it is. I just rolled it for you. You didn't know where to click, and I did, so I clicked it.
Well, thank
but I have
you.
clicked
So-
the thing now that every time you roll damage in the future, it should automatically roll sneak attack. And if
Thank
you don't
you
have
very
sneak
much.
attack, we'll just ignore it.
So then I do 24 points of damage.
Okay, damn.
So I do that, and then I'm going to take I'm going to, as a bonus action, I'm going to use my cunning action. Yes,
Okay.
and I'm quickly going to disengage.
Okay.
And I had moved. Oh Lordy Pete, I have forgotten how many feet. I had moved 15 feet, so I'm going to move the 15 feet backwards.
Okay.
Because I think I have 30 feet of movement. Let me double check. I do.
Yeah, you
So
do.
I move back to where I was. You know what? I will change it a bit, and I will go straight back on the other side of the tree there, and
Okay.
wherever it would be. And I have actually some cover from the owlbear.
Okay.
Yes?
Yep, very
Do I
good.
need to be in the edge of the trees?
No,
Or
you're
is where
fine.
I am all right?
I mean, the thing can't really shoot at you, so if it's going to attack you, it's going to run up to you and do that. So the cover probably
Alright.
won't really factor much. But
Well-
okay, but that brings us to Emma.
So from where Anna's at, you said these owls are like 8 feet tall, so it's safe to say she can see it. At least this one over here.
Which one?
By Roz.
Yeah, the one by Roz. So you guys on the other side of all the trees from it it's going to have half cover from you, trying to shoot through the tree. If you move to somewhere where you can get a better angle on it, you won't have that. But what half cover does is just give it +2 to AC. So depending on and it's a big target, you probably can still hit it from there. But
yeah,
the dice will decide.
Okay. Well, Inez is going to say, "Oh my goodness, what a magnificent creature. I don't want to fight any of the Earth creatures. That's just not right." And then she's going to... I'm a hoot. Oh, literally. That's funny.
Boo.
Shut up! Let me have my moment. No, let me have my moment. No,
I liked it.
All right.
Thank you.
Listen, Miss, choose that Pokemon. You
What
already
would
had
Charlie
at least one.
say?
I'm on fire. Okay, Anna is gonna move 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. 25. Okay, I think that's about 30 feet, so I went around 5, 10. Okay, yeah, that was 30. Anna's gonna cast Fairy Fire on this owl. I don't know why my little click dot won't work.
Which owl?
The big one by Roz. My little dot won't work. Yeah, that one. Thank you.
Can I give you some unsolicited advice?
Yeah.
You can tell that thing, given the how strong your friends are, that thing is almost certainly going to die really soon. If you're going to pop Fairy Fire, I would throw it at the ones back here to set yourself up for advantage in the future. It's up to you, obviously. Your character, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it would kind of be a waste because the next person that attacks that thing is almost certainly going to kill it.
Yeah.
And
is Fairy Fire a dex save?
It is a dex save.
Then the 2 owlbears that are slowed by Roz's slow spell are more likely to fail their save.
That's you. So again, totally your decision. If that's what you wanted him to do, she can certainly do that. It would not be the most effective use of the spell to hit that guy with it, just because he's about to die and then the spell fades anyway, right? So.
Right. Okay. Well, Anna doesn't want to fight the owls because they're like animals. Okay. So she likes animals. So I'll do it on the ones in the back.
Okay.
I didn't think about the.
Yeah, that's all good.
Okay.
Okay. So they have to make a dex save. What is your spell save DC?
15.
All right. We're gonna go top to bottom. Okay, so the first... Oh, and then they have what, disadvantage or minus some
just -2. Minus 2.
Okay, so still one of them makes it, one of them fails. So this one here is also hit with Fairy Fire. What does your Fairy Fire look like? What is it, a particular color, or is it like multicolored? What is...
It's a multicolored, like fiery shadow around the owls.
Excellent. Yeah, so this sort of like... colored flames that are fizzling into different colors appears around the one owlbear that is sort of further to the north. The other one somehow, even though it is slowed, manages to avoid the effect. Anything else from Enna? You've moved up there. You've cast your spell. Any bonus actions?
No, I think she's gonna big chill where she is.
Okay. So that brings us to this owlbear, which is slowed. So this one is going to start moving. It only has 20 feet of movement. Okay, so it can only do certain things with its attack.
It can use an action or a bonus action.
So it can
one or
dash.
the other.
It can dash. It hits the tree and kind of gets into difficult terrain. So this thing just starts like charging through the trees at all of you. And Roz, like the tree is shaking as this thing just like runs through the same little bit of underbrush, but it does not have enough movement to get to the party with that. because it hits difficult terrain when it runs into the trees, but that is sort of the shortest distance to you guys. And yeah, so next up is going to be Silas.
Okay, so Solomon and Shanty, two folks who haven't seen Silas fight before, watch him kind of spin a rapier in his hand and pull a wand out and kind of strike it almost like he's lighting flint. And you hear this as he starts the blade song. He's going to spend his 40 feet to actually, I think that's 40. Let me make sure. Ooh, I can go a little farther. That's okay. I'm going to weasel around just to get behind this guy and just kind of like get in his face. But he's actually going to spin around and cast a spell at the one at the far side. Can I get a wisdom saving throw from you?
Sure. So you are casting a wisdom saving spell on the one that has fairy fire on it?
That's true. That's correct.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to put it on the one in front of me. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to touch him with the wand. And
either way, it's a 5. So that's definitely going to fail.
You watch this owlbear kind of start to grow and his skin start to warp and sucks down into a snail as I cast polymorph.
Okay. I don't think I have a snail mini.
That's okay.
So I am
That's
going
insane.
to...
And I just yell at everybody, "Don't hit the snail!"
Okay, I'm just gonna grab a flying snake just because it's the closest thing that I have.
There is actually a snail on it already for slow.
That is true.
Could you do double snail?
Yeah, he is a slow to snail. So his effective range is 0 probably, right?
It is not going to be a lot. Yeah, I don't think there's a stat block for a snail. So
That's cool.
I'm just going to assume that a snail... I'm going to say a snail has a speed of 10 feet, so it has a speed of 5 feet now. And it probably only has 1 hit point. And it is very,
I'm
very
sorry, are you saying a snail can move 10 feet in 6 seconds?
Listen, D&D, it's hard to know, man, okay? If they move, movement happens in 5 feet increments,
magically
okay?
slowed snail.
Movement happens in 5 feet increments. That's the ruling.
Turns.
If you argue, who wants psychic damage? Who wants psychic damage?
Take it. I'll do it.
All right.
Hit me.
Roz takes 14 points of psychic damage for arguing with the DM.
My brain.
Okay. All right. So one of the owlbears is now a snail. Anything else from Silas?
That's bonus action movement. I'm good.
Okay. Next up is the other owlbear. Let's see. He's got to kind of maneuver his way through here. That's 20. He is going to dash as well up to Silas, but the dash means he doesn't have any action to attack you with. That slow spell's really screwing him up here, guys. Solomon, you're up.
So Solomon, hold on, let me make sure it's right here. Oh yeah, perfect. So before Solomon moves, he's going to look at this owlbear right here in front of Roz, and he's going to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
I need a DC 15 Wisdom save, please.
Wait, Hunter's Mark? I don't think Hunter's Mark requires a save.
No, there's no
I think
save.
Hunter's Mark just happens.
Oh.
Yeah. That's just a
Okay,
bonus
yeah.
action, and it just happens. So what does it look like as you cast Hunter's Mark?
So Solomon probably has his great sword hefted up on his shoulder, and he probably points at the owlbear, and you can probably see like this radiant energy start to flow from his eyes, and the owlbear probably feels like it's being stared down by a predator.
Excellent. So we will put this sort of death-looking skull to indicate the Hunter's Mark. And
Solomon's going to move up, and he's going to make a great sword attack on that owlbear.
Right.
Here we go.
Yeah, let her rip.
Does 19 hit?
19. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm going to apply smite to that.
Okay.
So that's a spell slot.
Yes.
All right. So
that's a divine smite.
Yeah.
Level 7. Level 7.
All right. That's plus a d6 for the hunter's mark.
Plus a d6 for the hunter's mark. Yep. So that's 22 points of damage to 25 points of damage. Okay.
Yeah.
26.
26
26.
points of damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Yes, 22. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking 21 for some reason. I got the 11s in my head. Yeah, 26 points of damage. Okay, so Solomon, how would you like to kill this owlbear?
So Solomon probably runs in past under the tree, dragging this greatsword across the ground, and you could probably see just displacement of air around the greatsword. And when it rushes back in, the greatsword kind of ignites with this holy flame, and he probably pulls it skyward and probably bisects the owlbear.
Yeah, and so where Padita had like stabbed it in the front, Roz, and it like rears up on its on its hind legs as a giant bear with an owl head, and you just like slice straight up its back next to its spine, and the owlbear is dead.
I'm going to use my second attack to attack the owlbear with fairy fire on it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll an attack with advantage. 18 hits.
I'm going to pop another Radiant Smite.
Okay.
Let me pop this down. Okay. All right. That is 19 points of damage.
Okay. Now this one had not been hurt at all. That is a mighty swing as the radiant sword slams into the creature and begins to sort of like, you can see the feathers like smoking as the radiant flames carve into it. It is hurt, but it is still kicking.
That is Solomon's turn.
Okay, and Shanty, you're up.
Perfect. So first question, I just want to triple check. So I'm assuming Solomon is within 5 feet of our friend, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right. Well, never mind.
Solomon and Silas are both within 5 feet.
Okay. Heard. Fantastic. All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and run up on our owlbear friend here as well.
Okay. Do you have enough movement to get that far?
I don't. Let's see. How far did I go?
Yeah, I think the farthest you can get is next to Silas, but that is still in melee. So.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay.
So like there-ish.
Yes.
Fantabulous. Thank you. All right. And then I'll go ahead and make a melee attack with, let's see. I'll go ahead and use my rapier then to make an attack.
Okay. Yeah. Let her rip.
All right. And do I just press the thing?
Yeah. You just click the button that says rapier on your sheet and it'll roll your attack roll.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Oh.
Sweet.
That is a nat 20.
Good?
That's a nat 20. That is
Fantastic.
definitely going to hit. And your sword already should be set up to do crit damage. So what you do now is not on your sheet, but in the chat where you just rolled, click where it says rapier right above your name, and it'll roll damage for you. And it should correctly... It did not correctly calculate your crit damage. Okay, so... So the way that we do, and I'll go into your sheet and fix that. The way that we do, we kind of use a homebrew crit rule. I thought I fixed this, but it is supposed. I did. That's so weird. I'm confused.
Did I?
You have 2 rapiers in here. You have 2 rapiers. You have. Oh my god. You have a bunch
Oh no!
of
What a
stuff in here.
clusterfuck.
Yeah.
I do have a bunch of stuff in here. Oh my
A
god,
bunch of
that's
stuff in here.
insane.
You got a bunch of stuff in here more than once too.
Yikes! Sorry.
It's fine. I fixed it
I'll
on the
fix it for
top
next
set
time.
of rapiers. Yeah, I'll help you fix that in between. But yeah,
Thank
so
you.
you rolled a 2 on damage. We add a full dice, so you roll a d8 for a rapier. So it's going to be 8 plus what you rolled. Rather than rolling the dice twice, we assume one of the dice is max damage. Because it makes crits feel a little more hard-hitting, because it sucks to like roll a crit and you roll a 1 on both dice, and you do less damage than you normally would do anyway. And it's like, that
It does.
sucks. So for this campaign, we are doing these homebrew crit roll. So that's going to be 10 points of damage.
Okay.
As
Rad.
you. So what does Shanty's rapier work look like?
Okay, so it's very stylized, almost looks like fencing. And at first she's going to charge up because she almost like see red because she's just furious that they're after her friends, right? So it seems like she's just going to rush into things, and then she slows down, and it's just this very pointed and calculated swipe and stab motion. Very like
Swish and flick?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Very
Sorry,
swish
I
and
couldn't
flick.
help myself.
It's okay. That's where we're going with it. It's fine.
Oh,
brain.
my apologies. Okay, excellent.
works.
And you catch this thing off guard. It has just been hit by Solomon, and you're able. It's like raising an arm to swipe at Solomon, and you just sort of like jab right under the arm with a critical hit. Bringing us back to Roz.
So I have to check if slow is not. It is a concentration. Excuse me.
Yes, slow as concentration.
The owlbears probably don't understand common, so vicious mockery is probably not worthwhile. In that case, I believe Roz is going to grant bardic inspiration to, to Perdita again.
Okay.
Perdita, finish this. I do not wish to be in these woods. There's more cheese in the storeroom.
And then Roz is going to hop down off of the tree and scoop up the transmogrified snail owl. And end her turn.
Okay. Also, polymorph lasts for what, an hour? Okay. Cool. As long as nobody hits it and does any damage, because then it'll.
That's correct.
Yes.
It's an hour.
So Roz is going to try to stash it away to basically protect it so that doesn't happen.
Okay. So Willoughby says, boy, am I glad to see you lot. As he sort of scoots around to somewhere where he can fire off his hand crossbow once again. Damn, that's only a 10 to hit. He's rolling like Garbo today. So he shoots, and I think his arrow just thuds into the dead owlbear in front of him, and he just sort of looks around and shrugs, and with his bonus action dash is going to run back to where he was in the first place.
I'm not a fighter.
Oh, man. You try running from these things for 2 miles and then shooting a crossbow, eh? And then that brings us back to Perdita.
Perdita, excuse me, glances over at Tubuckle and says, "You're good for so many things, but perhaps not that." And then she is going to run her 30 feet over to, let's see now, I had it figured out. Yeah, to, oops. I'm trying to turn it to move. Oh, that's not what I want. I might need a little help.
It's the arrow on the very top left of your screen, but also where do you want to go? And I can help you.
I want to go to it. My 30 feet was to right here, I think. Right here. Well, I can't click it either.
Okay.
It was
there.
right there, right?
Yes, thank you so very much. And now I've done a thing I don't know how to get rid of. Can you move me and make it so, Monsieur le DM?
Okay, 30 was right here. Yeah, I can do that also.
All right. So is that is far enough for my crossbow? Yes.
Yes.
So as I'm running and shaking my head actually about Tubuckle and Raz also, and I also would love to shout up into the tree, Raz, you need to exercise more, because we all know there is nobody more miserable to be around than a person who has recently lost a lot of weight and cannot quit talking about it, and that would be Perdita. And she rips out her short bow and she takes aim, and as her bonus action this time, she gives herself steady aim so that she has advantage. Yes?
Okay. Sure.
And I just clicked it. Oh, I clicked it in the wrong place. Oh, a 22.
Yep, 22 hits.
And so that damage is, I get the sneak damage, so it's 19 and 7 for 26 points of damage.
You also do have another bardic inspiration.
Oh, that's true. I do another D8. Let's see if I can do it and kill this little fella. Well,
you know,
he's not
Roz
so little.
doesn't do a lot of damage.
Oh,
but
look.
Roz helps other people do a lot of damage.
All right,
Oh,
Perdita.
Raz, we did great. That is 26 plus 8 is 34 points of damage.
Perdita, paint me a picture of death.
Well, as Perdita gets out her short sword, she does glance up at Raz and make that very derogatory remark about how much exercise Raz hasn't gotten. And then just to show everybody how particularly fine she is, she turns halfway around, yes, and you would see if you were looking that she manages to get the arrow out of her quiver with the use of one paw and also, yes, her tail. And steadying it with the tail on the bow, also with her paws, she shoots a mighty arrow, a mere 5-10 feet, catching that owlbear right in its shoulder blades, yes. And the head of the arrow comes out the front of it, right through its neck, and it's really not very attractive. But that's exactly what Perdita does. And then you know what she does the very last thing with her cat face? Oh, I meant to say with her tabaxi face. Oops. She sneers.
You say the naughty word.
I didn't mean to. I got excited. She sneers a bit.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, that is going to basically end the combat. If nobody attacks the snail, it's going to stay that way for an hour, which would give you guys plenty of time to get away. But it's up to you, so...
Silas would shout at Tubuckle and said, Did you say something about soldiers chasing you?
Yeah.
And where are they?
I've got a pretty good lead on them.
Okay.
I was hiding in a right nice hiding place, and then it turns out that, the reason they were coming near was because of these fuckers.
How far away do you think they are?
He sort of like brushes off his some of the like leaves and sticks and dirt from him, and sort of runs a hand through his grease slicked hair and says, "Oh, thanks. This is why I hate forests. Anyway, about your castle or whatever. Well, Saxton's kind of pissy about the whole thing. Yeah. In fact, do you guys have an army, like a big army? Because Saxton does, and he's dying to use it. He sort of figures you all are basically rat catchers who will split as soon as he shows up. Oh, so reason I'm so out of breath is because a small group of soldiers chase me here anyway. They're sort of coming to test your defenses. And like I said, just as I lost them, I met these friendly owlbears. But we should probably head back to your castle and get to defending. You're gonna need a lot more than this little troop, I think.
Do you think they'll come through here?
I've no idea. I've been running. I couldn't honestly tell you.
All right, Roz, leave the owlbear snail on the ground right here.
Here you go, little one. Do not trouble us again, for I have not yet tasted owlbear.
Okay.
Nice.
And with that, that is going to bring us sort of back into out of combat. And yeah, if it's amenable to you all make your way back to the castle. Do you have any, like, as you're sort of walking through the forest and everything, do you have any questions for Tubuckle?
How
So
did
Tubuckle.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go first.
Solomon looks at Tubuckle and he goes, "So, how did the owlbears get mixed in with the circumstance?"
Right. Well, I was being chased by these soldiers, yeah? And so I'm running through the woods and I found like a nice place to hide. And then they sort of just like stopped chasing me. I don't know, they must have had like a ranger with them or something who saw some tracks and realized I had sort of jumped into an owlbear den. So just as they sort of made their way away, I guess they figured the owlbears would take care of me. And I'm sort of sitting there cheering to myself like, yeah, I got away. And then I hear behind me, and of course, you know, story, we all know what happened from there, yeah? I ran my stubby little legs off.
Good domesticated owlbears would be a bad thing to go up against.
But it sounds like the owlbears were not friendly with the soldiers. But Tubuckle, did you get the idea that the soldiers were coming to attack us or for reconnaissance?
Oh no, they're coming to attack. The clock's operation in Bedegar picked up information that he's sort of just trying to test your defenses in preparation for a bigger assault.
So I think this means that we cannot let any soldiers escape. Is that correct? Because they will take word back. And if they find out that we do have some defenses that are not just, well, a little bit of nothing, then they will bring more things against us, and that might not be good.
Right, well, you know, if you recall from the last time we had one of these little powwows, wiping out an enemy army to the man is actually extremely difficult because once they start losing, they sort of just run away, you know? So, good. If you'd like to try, you're welcome to, but it's not as easy as it might sound.
Oh, so you think we're actually going to have a battle, not just a little group of nosy parkers showing up?
Yeah, they're sending like several whole units here to sort of poke the beehive and see what happens.
Oh dear. Well, Monsieur le Comte, we are going to have to make big plans about that. Perhaps this is it, do you think?
Do what now?
Do you think this is going to be like a really big deal? Will all those other Knights of the Roses show up also?
Not like right away. This is like they're gathering information. They're testing your defenses. They're not sending. They don't have their whole army ready to march yet. They've got a lot to do, but they just sort of sent some folks to kind of get some information and see what they're up against. But they're gonna. I mean, if you don't mount a defense, they'll march in the place and kill everyone. So,
Count Silas.
they know it's not a force big enough to take the whole castle if you've got any kind of you know, units of your own, but like I said, they're just sort of testing your defenses.
Would you like me to rally the defenses?
Yes. Hurry to them as soon as you can. Everybody else, Solomon, Perdita, you're in charge of your own units. Please gather them as quickly as possible.
Well, Monsieur le Comte, I was very successful when I went to talk to the orcs as far as giving them Edmund's promises, and they most likely will help us. We most likely don't even have to, I don't have to go myself. I could send a minion. I will tell you, however, that I'm afraid it is a one-time thing, that they won't keep helping us. I think I understand that correctly, without that we give them the artifact that they want. So we need to be savvy about this. Is this the battle, the time when we get everyone together? Or do we just need to mount a defense and show that we are in the vernacular, pussycats to be knocked over? But perhaps we should save the orcs for something bigger?
I trust Two Buckle's information. He hasn't led us astray yet. We're going to save the orcs for now. However, you do have a unit of archers. Round them as we can.
Actually, I think you had cavalry. If I'm not, I don't know. What did you guys write down? If somebody wrote it down, I'm going off what was sent in the Facebook message. But somebody actually wrote that shit down at one point. So if anybody has the notes on who has
It was
what.
me.
Okay, so then what's in the Facebook message is right. So currently, I believe Solomon and Raz have units of infantry. Silas has a unit of archers. Perdita has a unit of whatchamacallit, of cavalry. And they're actually in the fight. There will be 2 units of levies who will answer to Shanti and Enna. So they're just gonna like, yeah. As we move into it, the levies sort of show up, having seen the army from Bedegar march into the forest and figure it was gonna come attack you. So they're kind of your reinforcements.
All right, let's gather our troops and let's get on it.
Yeah. So
I would like to pull Two Buckle aside if he gets a chance.
Sure. Yeah. He was actually going to talk to you.
Roz is going to upcast Thunderwave at 2nd level to basically call out. The Hiskers band will know what this means, and they will begin to organize everyone.
Okay, sure.
What does it sound like? A squeaking cat? Yeah. It's like cats.
Something like that.
Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you pull Two Buckle aside.
Yeah. I'll just lean down to him. How did it go? Were you able to drop the message?
Oh, that happened 9 months ago.
Well, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, because he would have done that. Like, I'm assuming that would have happened.
That's true.
Before,
yeah, that's right.
Before the thing. But the answer to that question is yes. He did do that 9 months ago.
Okay.
But he does have a thing to talk to you about, which is he pulls out a rather fancy pouch and kind of hands it over and says, right, couple of things. Yeah. I know you've got your whole new noble court and all. And one of the things that sort of folks in the know is about these little things here. This here is a diplomat's pouch, yeah? Anybody with one of these, they're all sort of like hooked together. They only transport letters back and forth, but you can write a letter, address it to someone else who's got one of these things, put the letter in there, and they will get it. So any major organization around these parts is going to have one of these things. You can use it to pass notes to your organization while you all are out doing things in a field, or you can reach out to, folks up in Dolrath or, various other people. It's just a way to sort of pass messages back and forth. I'm going to need
What's it limited to?
Letters? Like,
could you send owlbear snails?
No, letters. Only letters.
I kind of clap him on the
lettuce.
No, letters.
Lettuce.
Oh,
like,
lettuce. Okay.
Like what you write on parchment, yeah?
Cabbage?
No.
Lettuce?
No.
I'm hungry.
We gotta get in on some food.
Did you guys? It's 1 PM. Did you skip lunch?
We did, to save your ass. Okay.
There was one of those crumbs on your jacket then, there, Silas. I can see them from down here. They're right at eye level.
Clap him on the shoulder and just kind of thank him. All right. Yeah, I think I know who to send this to. All right.
Yeah, so basically the diplomat's pouch is just like a tool that you guys can use to do diplomacy with certain factions so that you don't have to like send people, because like some of the time wouldn't work out, right? To get all the way to Dalrath and back, for instance, would take longer than the course of, what you'll probably have time for in the adventure. And so it's a way that people have kind of worked around magically to pass messages back and forth.
It's a text message.
Basically.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. And then he also says, and at some point I've got a favor to ask of you, but that can wait till after the battle. So, right. It is time for our first warfare combat of the adventure. So those 4 tier 1 units you guys selected when you created your organization, plus the extra levies that are going to show up, are under attack, basically. So what we're going to do, we are going to move to Castle
Can I get a
Rend.
quick technical question?
Sure.
We talked about yesterday archers getting a special ability when trained by.
Right. So
Martial
currently,
advantages.
yeah. So currently, no one's martial advantages are going to kick in just yet. This is going to be much more like the battle that we did at the end of the last adventure.
Understood.
But the next time that we do battle, we will. So we're sort of like introducing all these mechanics like one piece at a time. So this is kind of our refresher on how battle works. And then next time you guys have a battle, we will be including those other martial advantage mechanics for both you and enemy commanders. So
Okay. Sounds good.
and then I can get rid of these. I don't need this. Bye, goodbye. Okay, so the first thing that we've got to do is we have got to look at bringing the siege. So we didn't do this part last time. We just did it based on who was attacking who, kind of, when we did Castle Rend. But now what we're going to do, you guys sort of know these guys are coming, but they also know that you might be prepared for them. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to have an operations test from each side. Hang on. Let me get rid of these. So on the party sheet, you guys have a +2 to operations. So somebody, and I don't really care who, is going to make an operations test. And the enemy realm is going to make an operations test. And we are going to see who wins. And then that group is going to get to choose. If you guys win, you can choose if you want to wait and get attacked in the castle, or if you want to try and like ride out and fight them in the field, basically. And the difference is essentially going to be the difference between... Do I have a sheet for... Okay, I do. The difference is going to be a difference between... if you bring the siege, you get extra activations at the beginning of combat, but you don't get the defensive bonuses from your castle. If you don't bring the siege and attack them in the field, okay. There's basically 3 scenarios, right? If you lose bringing the siege, they're going to attack you when your guys are in the field, basically. You're going to race home, and they'll catch your units while they're training in the field, and there will be no defensive, and they'll have brought the siege. If you bring the siege to them, it means that you're going to ride out from Castle Rend and catch them in the field. You won't have your defensive bonuses from the castle, but you will get the extra activations at the beginning of the turn. If you wait for them to come to you, they're going to bring the siege. They're going to get the extra activations, but you'll have the defensive bonuses. So the first thing I need is for somebody to make that operations test. It's going to be a d20 +2, and then I will roll theirs. And that is a d20 +4. So I don't know who would like to do that.
I think the honor for the first operations test should go to the Count himself, if there are no objections.
I'm fine with it.
Rock
Okay.
and rolling.
All right,
Watch me roll
Silas.
a 1.
Well, you
Shut
do
up.
have inspiration, right? From chat, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, hold on.
I mean, you don't have to use it. You can.
A 15 that makes it a 17. It's pretty good. What do you
yep.
guys think? Should I?
If
I
this
think
is
that's pretty
blackjack,
good.
we would hold. So
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna hold. 17's pretty good.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
Rip.
boo.
Okay,
We
so
would have had to hit a natural 20 to beat it, though.
Yeah.
The contesting roll was a 17 +4, which is a 21.
And we
Yes.
rolled a 15.
that is correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that was a 15 +2, which was 17. I am
Yeah.
gonna. Right. No, stop it. No. Hang on. I'm trying to not ruin this map in case I need to use it again, but I am trying to take the castle off of it. So hang on just 1 second.
If you would like us to roll initiative and begin placing, well, I guess we don't know what the scenario is yet, do we?
So the scenario is in the field.
Okay, so they caught us in the field.
Yes. So essentially how this works
Got it.
narratively is that you guys.
Scenario is in the field.
Whoa, hello. Somebody.
Okay, so they caught us.
Sorry.
Okay. So the scenario is basically that.
But if everyone wants to roll initiative while
Yes,
we're
please roll
figuring this
initiative.
out.
Yep. Well, I do this stupid math stuff.
Do we roll it from our character sheets?
Yes, because the initiative that you roll has to do with when the units under your control are going to go.
Right.
Basically.
So I'll give a quick refresher on sort of the battle setup for everyone while Pixel, you do what you got to do. A housekeeping for rolling during combat. When you roll, the best way to do it that we figured out is to roll 2d20s every time you do anything. And that will become apparent as we do the combat because most of the checks happen in pairs. So if you roll them both at the same time and there's a success on the first roll, then we can just keep the second roll and move it right along. It reduces a lot of clicks and a lot of time. Cool? So roll 2d20s all the time. The second, the unit card. Let's just talk about what we see on a unit card. There's a big name in the middle that identifies the name of the unit. For instance, Solomon's soldiers. There is an icon in the top left that is a weapon or a horseshoe or a pitchfork. Those denote the unit type, which is infantry with the sword, levy with the pitchfork. Those are just common folk who have gathered around to help us defend the castle. The horseshoe for cavalry, and the bow and arrow for artillery. And artillery, I know it's a confusing term, in this instance means people on foot with bow and arrow, not like a big catapult. In the top right corner, there's the big number 6 inside of a hex. That is the casualties. This is your hit points for your units, and it represents the number of fighting folk in that unit who are still sort of not mortally wounded, not disabled, not winded, and can still hold the weapon and fight back. The numbers on the bottom, going from left to right, are all of the different stats that your unit has that you're going to be competing against other unit stats. So from left to right, defense, toughness, morale, and command. Defense is what you are measuring your units, the opposing unit's attack against. It's basically your unit's armor class. And then a fun thing happens. If that attack is a success, then you do a power test to see if that attack is particularly devastating. And that power test is done against the toughness, that second number. So you have 2 tests. If the first one passes, you do the second one. If the first one doesn't pass, you don't do the second one. That's why we roll 2d20s. Everyone's still along for the ride? Cool. I think that's a pretty good refresher. Infantry can be placed anywhere. Cavalry are not on the map because they're constantly roaming around. And artillery must be placed in the center. The rows and columns, we refer to those as rank and file. We use the military term. So a rank is vanguard, reserve, center, rear. And a file is a column. So it is all of the ranks in stacked order.
Also, I know there's a lot to keep track of. Friends, in the handouts section of your journal, you should have under warfare units, allied units, you should see a folder that says Castle Rend units in your journal. Like, so where you go to find your character sheet, scroll down, you should eventually see some warfare units. Does everybody know where those are?
Great. And these cards have a few extra numbers on them, which aren't represented on the tokens, which the audience can see. So it's helpful if you keep this tab open for your unit. And just as everyone will know whose units there are once we've rolled initiative and we start placing them. But yeah, keep the pluses in you could write them down, +3 for attack, +4 for power, however it works. And then it'll make the math real easy.
Yeah. I know it's a lot, guys. Well, this is why we're doing it. It's going to be a pretty simple battle. And we will get you guys rolling here. So, Silas, you are first. You have a unit of Orin's Rangers under your control. If you would please place that unit anywhere you would like, except they have to be placed in the center rank.
Yeah, I'm going to put him right dead center of the center. So am I standing with Orin himself?
I mean, you're the commander, so sure.
You could be
I feel like you're like overlooking the battle. If you want if you want to talk to him, that's fine with me. I don't really.
Yeah, I was wondering if if Orin was making an appearance.
Sure.
What would it be then, Count? We could shoot him in the eyes. We could shoot him in the throats. I mean, we don't even have to use arrows. One time, I just took the arrowheads off because they were all blunt and rusty anyway, and I just shot them with the wooden part. Turns out they were vampires.
As much as Jesse is amused, Silas is just sitting there like, because he's been listening to this all day.
Excellent. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Were you going to reply?
No, that's it. I just thought it was funny.
Okay. Anna, you are next. Anna, you have a unit of Gravesford levies. They are an infantry unit. You can place them anywhere on the board you would like. I will point out tactically, you guys know you're not up against any cavalry right now. So the thing where you normally have to like guard your rear from enemy cavalry, it is not a thing at this point. So that may influence some of your tactical decisions. But Anna, yeah, go ahead and place those levies wherever you would like.
Okay. How about there?
Okay, that works. Shanty, you are next. You can place your levies wherever you would like.
We are going to line up here.
Okay. All right. Solomon, you have Solomon soldiers. You can place those, that unit of infantry wherever you would like.
Might as well complete the wall.
Okay.
Love it.
Perdita,
Team wall.
you don't have to place your unit. The cavalry just live on the outside of the battlefield. So we'll just put them over there. And then Saxton gets to place his units. So he will place, let's see, a unit in the center. Place a unit here. Place a unit here. And he'll place his bowman. I think, wait a second. I think I have the center and the reserve flipped on the enemy side.
You do, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think. I mean, there's yeah. I guess that's fine for this battle because that is where their center will be.
Because technically, the reserve is actually the rear, unless you're counting the forest.
Yeah, I think I just flipped them during the last battle, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay, and then Roz, you have your Hiskers band. Where would you like to put?
Yeah, so 32 Tabaxi soldiers in identical matching outfits are on the field doing loop-de-loops and somersaults, and they are going to take this position in the vanguard.
Gotcha. And someone asked in chat, does everyone currently have chat inspiration or no?
I do not.
I don't believe I do either.
Okay.
Show some love to the new folks, chat.
Yeah, I
No
don't think.
beans, no beans.
Let's see.
And Monsieur Le DM, I do have a question, and I do have chat inspiration. I was confused the last time we did this, and I somehow thought Perdita was riding around with the cavalry, and of course that was incorrect. But do I have a choice this time since there's not another battle, or is there going to be another battle for us?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to say that you're riding around with the soldiers, there won't be any actual threat to you people. But sure, I don't care. Yeah, if you want to thematically say that you're involved in the battle, that's fine by me. Or if you want to say that you're like standing on the walls, like directing people, that's fine too. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So yeah, to clear this up for our audience, there is a scenario which is optional battlefield conditions, let's call them, called Commanders on the Field, and you can read about that in the Kingdoms and Warfare MCDM handout, which we can provide in our Discord, and it does give you rules for having the commanders in the units on the field and rules for single combat between commanders of those units. Go check them out. We're not going to be using them for this fight, but go check them out.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you are saying, Monsieur le DM, that they were catching us in training in the field when
Yeah,
this
so
battle
here's the
begins?
scenario for this, right? Is that it was after lunch, your troops were off doing afternoon training. Also, Daniel and Shanty both, Solomon and Shanty both have chat inspiration. Incidentally, I need to put a thing, I think, on Solomon's sheet for that, don't I? Yeah, hang on. Okay. And you guys, I have given you a spot over with your class resources for chat inspiration. DM inspiration can go in the DM inspiration bubble above your proficiency bonus. Anyway, that's for you to figure out. Not that important to talk about at the moment. But yeah, so the scenario right now, you found out that this was happening and raced back to the keep, but because their operations test was better than yours, you're essentially arriving at the field of battle just as it is kind of beginning, sort of, and your troops are being sort of ambushed while they were out running afternoon drills, basically. So what's going to happen is your enemy is going to get one free activation for the units in the Vanguard in the beginning of combat, and then combat's going to begin. So, I'm sorry, battle is going to begin. So, did that make sense?
Well, it makes sense, but it doesn't sound wonderful for us.
Yeah, well, you lost the initiative roll, so that's how it goes. Okay, so if your units have any reactions, which I don't really think they do, you can use them, but that's okay. So
we're not using martial advantages in this fight.
Not yet. Yeah, well, basically this fight is just a refresher on the base battle rules without all the fancy stuff, just to kind of get that back under everybody's fingers, and then later battles that happen, we will be bringing in the martial advantages and some of the more advanced stuff as we go. So, as the battle begins, I'm going to put on a little bit of battle music here, and they get a free activation. And those activations, Beast, do those include attack? It's like an activation is
yes,
a move
an
and
activation
attack, right?
is the term that we use for warfare for battle. Which is a unit's turn. During an activation, a unit can do usually one of three things. They can use an ability. Most of these units probably don't have those. They can make an attack, they can make a number of attacks equal to the number of attacks that they are allowed. All of these units are making single attacks, except for Saxon's Bowman, I believe. No,
Saxon's
they can
Bowmen are making one attack.
Okay.
They're not as good as Anglim's archers. Anglim was like an archer, so his bowmen are better, but Saxton's bowmen are just generic standard human bowmen.
Yes, so during an activation, you can make an attack, you can use an ability, or you can move. Everything can only move one space, unless otherwise noted. I think everything here can only move one space, so we don't have to worry about that. So this is a free activation. They can move and attack or move, which is called a march, or use an ability, and that's it.
Okay. Okie dokie. So, we are going to go for these guys. So the first unit is going to move forward and is going to attack Solomon's soldiers. And so let me go find... Oh, there's my Saxon's thing right there. Okay, so they're going to roll their attack and their power test. So, I'm going to roll these 2d20s. Okay, so their attack test is a 14.
It meets my AC.
Okay, and then their
That
power
beats.
test is an 8.
That does not.
Okay, so as they attack Solomon Soldier, Solomon, your unit takes 1 casualty.
Right.
And you can use the token HP on these guys the same way you would with your normal characters. So you can just like hit -1 in the green box, and it'll do that.
Yeah, so when you click on the token, the green, the red, the green, and the blue bubble pops up, and in the green bubble you can type in the number and hit enter, and it should change it, and you can keep track that way.
Right. So like if you've got 6, you can just type in 5, or you can do math in there. You can hit like -1, enter, and it'll actually do the math for you. So. Okay, so that is the first unit. It has moved and attacked. The second unit is going to move in. No, the second unit is actually going to hold its position. The third unit is going to move forward, and I think is actually going to attack the levies. Okay, so the first attack, I shouldn't have closed that. Keeping that by accident.
It's +3 and +2.
Yeah, so you've got a
first attack will be
20 on the attack test. So I believe, is that Enna's? Yeah, it is. So Enna, your toughness, your defense is 10, so that hits. And then, so you take 1 casualty from that, and then their power is +2.
Is 12, which
12,
meets the 12.
which meets the toughness. So you take 2 casualties total for your levies, Enna.
Okay.
And then the bowmen are not in the vanguard; they don't get the activation, and that brings us to Silas. Also. Hang on.
Is the third Saxon's infantry going to make
It
an
is not.
activation?
It decided not to collapse the vanguard and decided to hold its position. Also your rear collapses because you don't have any units, but that's not a big deal because there's no cavalry. And that brings us to Silas. Silas, your rangers can attack any enemy on the field. What would you like to do?
Silas is going to point to Saxton's bowman and look at Orin and just say, "Make it rain."
Fire!
All right, go ahead and roll those 2d20s.
Nice.
2d20s, a 13 and a 13, so that makes it a 16 and a 15.
Those both are successful.
Look
That
at
is-
Orin go.
Two casualties
got
on
it.
Saxton's bowman. Okay, cool. Any movement from the rangers?
Nah, we're going to sit still.
Okay. Enna, your levies are up. There is a unit of infantry that just attacked you. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna attack back.
Okay.
Let me get this out of the way. 7 and 17, so 9. Probably
Okay.
not.
So, yeah, unfortunately, the 9 is not going to do it. You do have inspiration if you'd like to use it.
Yeah, I'll use it. Why not? Do I just roll one?
Yeah, you just
D20
roll
if-
one more
okay.
d20 and we'll take that in stride for the 7.
Okay. 8,
plus 2
10.
is 10. Oof. Not quite. Dang, they've got 12, so...
Damn.
So your levies mount an attack in return on the infantry, but they are not able to mount a successful counterattack. Shanty, you are up.
Excellent.
What would you like to do?
Okay, I am going to go ahead and engage with this set of infantry here in the center.
Okay. So you will have to move forward 1 square. Unlike normal D&D combat where you can attack diagonally, in warfare like this, you can only attack cardinal directions.
Okay,
But you can for sure move up 1 and then attack. And you can
Sweet.
ignore the feet thing.
Okay.
Your units can move. This is all very abstracted. Each set of squares on the battle, like each big black square on the battlefield, you can move 1 in any given direction, non-diagonally, right? Or if you
Right.
march, you can move 2. So,
Okay. Sorry,
Looks like
I'm
it's
attempting
cool.
to.
You have your ruler on, which is a tool on the left side of your screen. If you go all the way to the top
that
of
would
that
explain
thing,
a lot.
you can grab. Yep,
Fantastic.
there you go.
It's very confused. Thank you.
Roll
Okay,
20.
excellent.
It's cool. It's there's a learning curve with that stuff.
Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. I'm such a Luddite. All right, let's see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and roll 2d20s. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do the thing.
Oh,
Okay, so 19 plus the levies have
I believe it's
an attack
plus
rating
1.
of where's the Gravesford levies? They have an attack rating of +2. So your 19 is a 21, so that is successful. Unfortunately, the 6 you add your power to. So basically, whenever you make an attack against an enemy unit, you roll an attack test and a power test. If the attack test beats their defense, that means you've mounted a successful attack. And then if the power test beats their toughness, that means you've launched a particularly deadly attack. If you make a successful attack roll, they take 1 casualty. If you make it a successful power roll, they take a second one. So in this case, they only take 1 casualty. But that is still one.
It's still a casualty. I'll take it.
Yeah. So
Hell yes.
Okay. Although if you
Cool
want to
beans.
use if you want to use inspiration, you can use it to re-roll that 6 if you'd like. You don't have to, but you have the option.
You know what? It is there. Fuck it. Let's try it. All right. Do we need to do anything in particular for that?
Yeah, just roll another d20.
Oh, cool.
And then if you get a 10 or higher, you'll make a second casualty basically. So you got a 50-50 shot.
Is it 20 higher than 10?
Yeah, it is. That's a nat 20. What was our rule for crits on power tests? Is it an
Oh my
additional
gosh.
casualty?
All right, so I
And
love
this is some
Thank
homebrew.
you.
I will say, anybody who's listening right now who knows the MCDM stuff, we didn't like that they didn't include crit rules, so we homebrewed some shit. Deal with it.
I love that. Okay.
So, oh my goodness. And guess what I have pulled up on my phone is the little Google Doc handout that I made that has all of this information lovingly prepared for anyone to use. So, on a successful on a nat 20 crit on a power test, you force the other unit, because you are so scary to them, that they have to make a DC 15 morale test.
That's right.
And upon failing, they suffer an additional casualty.
All right. So,
and just a refresher of all of the crit rules, a crit on an attack roll gives you advantage on your power test. So you get to roll a second time, and a crit on that power test gives you forces a morale check, a stronger morale check, DC 15. And if you crit on both, which you can, you double all of the casualties that you deal in that round. That's our fun little homebrew.
And that one, it sounds crazy, but it's like a 1 in 400 chance of that happening. So, if you really hit the lottery there, you get some fun stuff. Okay, so they failed. They rolled an 11 on that morale test, so that means they take an additional casualty. Good job on that advantage. That definitely was the right choice. And that means they are diminished, and they now have to make another morale test. This is a lower DC, but they may suffer yet another casualty. What is the DC of those? Is it
That
13?
is 13.
That's what I thought.
So when the casualty die, however many it is, whether it's 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12, when a casualty die of a unit is halved. So in this case, everyone's got 6 casualties. When they hit 3, they panic because they've taken great losses. They have to make a morale check. And if they continue to panic and they don't hold together, more of their guys run away or fall over or just keel over from exhaustion, and they take another casualty.
Yeah. Okay, so I think so. You have this group of Gravesford levies under your command, Shanty, and actually one of the soldiers in this, the sort of sergeant leading this group, is our friend and Gravesford bridge guard Ryan, who we all remember from the Siege of Castle Rend. And so they failed that. The reason I'm narrating this, they failed that morale test. So they have taken now 4 casualties from a single maneuver.
Damn.
And so
That's good
your
shit.
levies, seeing their fellow Gravesford friends being attacked on the other side of the battlefield, race forward, pincering themselves between 2 units of Saxton's infantry, but with a fury bent of the death of Lenore, Ryan and his crew just tear into these levies with such fervor that many of them begin to break and flee. It looks like Saxton was not expecting you guys to be able to mount such a formidable defense, even after what happened with Peloton. He seems to still be underestimating you, or at least his soldiers are, and you dealt just an incredible blow to that unit of Saxon's infantry.
Go, babies, you
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and that brings us, for the folks at home, real quick, and I guess the folks who haven't seen, this is his character sheet. That's not the one I want. Where are my bravest for NPCs? Ryan. Bloop. This is Ryan.
Yeah.
That is Ryan. So this is our fellow in charge of the unit, spear and big shield in hand, charging into battle at the head of his troops, just cutting a swath, stabbing many a Bedegarian soldier. And that brings us to Solomon's soldiers. So the levies on your left have been attacked and damaged. The levies on your right charged forward, pincering themselves between two other groups of infantry. And yet, here are these infantry right in front of you. Solomon, what do your soldiers do?
They're going to push forward and attack.
Hell yeah. All right, give me those attack and power tests. Okay, so let's see. I think both of those both of those hit.
Yeah, they both hit, and
That's a 14 and a 12, and
Yes.
I believe what you have a +3 and a +4 maybe.
I have a +4 and a +4.
So an 18 on the attack and a 16 on the power test. What just happened?
Yeah,
We
so
have
as Solomon's
break.
soldiers charge into Saxton's infantry to support Ryan to their west, they break that unit of Saxon's infantry, removing them from the field. Now, though that unit can be reformed with a successful morale test, but for the moment, they are cleared from the battlefield as they break rank and begin to flee. Solomon, you have the option, if you would like, to do a follow-up maneuver to make a command test to try to move forward into the space they just vacated, if you would like, but you do not have to.
I'm gonna make a command test to move forward.
Okay, let's see. Beast, what's the DC on that test?
That is a DC.
11?
Oh my goodness!
Something like
I
that?
should pull that up. I believe it is 12
8.
maneuvers.
Nope, it's a DC 8.
DC 8, and because Solomon is commanding a unit of humans, they have advantage on
Yeah,
their
on command.
test.
Do they have
For
advantage on morale
adaptable.
test too? Because I haven't.
They also have
Yes.
advantage on morale
Well,
tests.
I'm not going to go
Humans
back
are
and
adaptable.
fix. I'm not going to go back and fix Saxton's rolls when I have not been doing that. So I'll do that from here forward.
I got an 11. Well,
That'll do it.
It'd be a 13.
13. Yeah, that's
so,
high enough.
All right.
Yeah, so they can move forward. So
All
they
right.
charge forward, chasing Saxton's unit from the field. What was that, Solomon?
I would also like to point out that because Solomon's soldiers have activated, they've started their round, they made an attack. The follow-up maneuver is a reaction to the breaking of Saxon's infantry, and Solomon's soldiers do still have the ability to move if they wish, one tile.
Let's do it. Let's put pressure on them.
Okay. Yeah, no chest needed for this because it's just your movement. So you are charging into the enemy vanguard to attack. Now, you don't have another attack to make, but Solomon's
I
soldiers
only have one.
charge forward into the enemy vanguard, pressuring Saxton's bowmen. Perdita, you have cavalry. What would you like them to do? I believe
Well,
at this point, every single enemy unit is a legal target. So
That is true, yes.
Okay, well, I have a question because
Yes.
I'm trying to figure things out and remember.
Yep.
I was thinking that when you took damage and you injured, it changed the big 6 on the upper side of the card. Is that right? Is that not where I keep up with if I've been damaged?
it is the green block above the card. So it's like your normal token health. Like, when you click on your token and you can change their
Yes,
health in the green bubble.
The 6 is the maximum health,
Yeah.
the starting health.
Okay, I
Unfortunately,
don't
we're
get
not
where-
able.
Oh, I see it. Okay,
Yeah.
I
You-
see it.
The token is a PNG, and there's no way to dynamically edit that in the middle of combat. So the 6 just
Okay.
represents what their max health would be
Okay.
so that I know
because
what
I was
to put on
thinking
their
like
token.
nothing that you have is now injured because we have completely gotten rid of the one.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Saxon's infantry that the Gravesford levies attacked on the left there did not take any damage, but the one in the middle was fully wiped off the board thanks to Shanty's levies and Solomon soldiers.
Okay. Well, as Perdita raced
Oh,
in
no.
and
Saxon's bowman is damaged. I'm sorry, because the Orange Ranger's damaged.
Oh, I see it now.
Thank you. My bad.
You know, those green lines are hard to see. I don't think I
My
like
apologies.
those. All right. Well, as Perdita would have raced in and looked for the nearest horse to rally her cavalry in the middle of this amazingly horrible thing, she would absolutely, and would have, even if they were not injured, have gone after the bowmen because they have more targets. And she also would be seeing that the levies and the soldiers are moving against the infantry all over the place. So Perdita is going to attack Saxton's bowman. Okay.
Okay.
I rolled
go ahead. So
2d20.
attack and power, attack and power test, 2d20s.
All right. A 14 plus 4 is an 18.
Nope. So we count those two separately. So you got a 14 plus your modifier, which for the old
It's
guard
a
who are the
plus
cavalry.
4, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right.
It is a plus.
I
I
thought
was
you were
looking at
adding the
my-
second roll.
okay.
I'm a dumbass. My apologies.
She did it right.
You did it right.
Yeah,
I was.
I am looking at my card.
Okay.
All right.
You
So
are
that
correct.
is an
I was wrong.
18.
Many apologies.
That is an 18 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
Okay, so you take one damage.
They take one
but
damage.
that
Okay, and then
power
before
fail is-
anything else, I've got to do. They are diminished, so I've got to do their morale test. They have advantage on this. I didn't do that for the other ones, like a doofus, but I'm going to do it for them because they are
And
humans
why
and they
is
are
it that you
adaptable.
have advantage?
They are humans.
Okay, so let's talk about unit ancestry. Yeah, so units, because they are not individuals, they don't have a race or a class. They have ancestry and unit type. Their ancestry represents the predominant type of soldier in that unit. In this case, these are human ancestral units. And as their ancestry is human, they have the adaptable trait. Every ancestry has its own trait. Roz's Tabaxi units have a different trait. And adaptable gives all human units advantage on morale and command tests. This is very strong. Humans are plucky.
All right. So you rolled a 16.
Yes, so he did. So Saxon's bowmen have hit half of their total size, which makes them diminished. Whenever a unit's diminished, it must make a morale test or lose an additional casualty. However, they did succeed that test with a total of 21 because of the adaptable trait. They succeeded. They do not take the additional casualty. Moving back to your unit, Perdita.
All right, but I do have another question because you
Yes.
said we are not using maneuvers. Is that right? But I do have one if it would come up or no.
So we aren't using what are called martial advantages. What those are special traits given to unit based on who is commanding them. So all of you guys have different classes. For future battles after this one, I will put additional traits on your cards that represent the things that your unit is better at because you're training and commanding them. So the Bard's units will get certain things that are Bard flavored. The Wizard's unit gets certain things that are Wizard flavored, and so on with all of your class abilities.
So I don't have evasive maneuver now.
That is
You do.
actually something that is on there. Although I actually have to
I
look
don't
at
have
that.
a-
I don't know what it does.
I don't have
It
a-
is a reaction to
Yeah.
if her cavalry is targeted by an artillery unit, which has not happened.
Right, but since it was there and you said no maneuvers, I wanted to ask.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's a different reason why I have that maneuver. Okay.
Right.
Correct.
That's something that
All
the
right.
cavalry gets by virtue of being cavalry, I believe.
All right. I thank you very much.
Okay. The only other thing, if you choose to use your inspiration, you could get advantage on your power test if you'd like to try and deal those additional casualties.
No,
but
it's an 8. She rolled a 4. It's +4. That's an 8. Meets the toughness.
You have +4 on your power test for the old guard?
Oh, I
the old
do.
guard.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so she does, and that's 2 more damage. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is. It sure
Well, you
is.
told me I didn't get it. I kind of wondered why I didn't get it. But
Well,
okay.
I thought that 4 wasn't high enough to
Don't
get
worry.
it, but I didn't realize. Thank you.
I'm on them, y'all.
Hey, listen. It's a lot of numbers to keep in my head. Okay.
It is. Don't
Yes.
worry. I'm here to help. I'm no conflict. No conflict with the conflict before us.
Perdita's going to stop talking about you that you need to pay attention to what you eat because she is so grateful.
Okay, so now my unit of Saxon's infantry that has been broken is going to attempt to reform itself.
And this is called a rally.
Using the rally, which is a maneuver that everybody has access to. I'm just going to post this in chat so everyone can see what it says. So they've got to make a DC 13 morale test. On a success, they reform with 1 casualty. If they get a nat 20 on that test, I give them 2 casualties. So, and they have advantage.
And that is a homebrew, another crit.
Actually, I think that actually is in the rules.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure.
You know what? Actually, I think you're right.
I think we said we were going to homebrew that, and then we looked at it and we're like, oh, they actually did that. Okay, so they have advantage on this because of adaptable. Here it comes. Trying to beat a DC 13. They succeed. So that is 12 plus 1 is 13. So they exactly succeed. Thanks to that advantage. They have been broken before. They return in the rear, which is here, with 1 casualty. Okay.
They also immediately activate.
They do. So they immediately activate. So they are going to actually go ahead and march into the jaws of death toward the Hisker's band, cutting off your ability to charge into their vanguard. But they've marched, so they don't have the ability to attack you this round. Second, this unit of Saxon's infantry over on the right, the east side of the battlefield, is now going to attack Shanty's levies. So here come those tests. Okay, so their first attack is an 11 plus... this is an infantry. 11 plus 3 is 14. Does that beat your toughness?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and their second attack is... a nat 20. So that is going to double their casualties.
No, it does not.
Oh, no, it does not. You're right. You have to make a test. Okay. So
it is a DC 15 morale test.
Yeah, so first things first. Okay. Sorry, I know we're all over the place here. First things first, Shanty, you're going to take 2 casualties off the top.
Okay. Do the thing. Okay. Oh, I thought I did it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So you click on your token and a little green bubble appears.
Yep.
And then you click on the bubble to type into it, and you can just hit -2 and hit enter. And it should...
Oh, here I was just typing 4. Okay.
You can also just type 4, either way. Okay, so that works. Now what we need you to do is make a DC 15 morale test. You do have advantage on that.
Okay.
But you do have, I think it's a -1 to morale because you're levies and they're not very morale-ful.
Okay, and I'm just rolling a d20 for that?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Yep. And you have advantage,
always
so roll
2.
another one.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
I'll get it, I promise.
Okay, so 15 minus 1 is 14. That does not beat a 15, so you do take 1 additional casualty.
Okay.
So that drops you to 3. That means now that you've hit half, your unit is diminished. So unfortunately, you will have to make another one. So this is a lower
DC
test.
13.
Yeah, this is a DC 13
Roll 2
morale
d20s.
test.
I gotcha.
2d20s because you still
Coming
have
your way.
advantage. Okay.
16 and a 17.
Yeah. So
Even -1, that does it.
Still makes it. So you do not take the additional casualty. Ryan and his friends are still kicking. So.
Whew. Go, boys.
Okay, that brings us to this unit of Saxon's infantry. They are going to attack the other levies. Sorry to be pounding on the levies here, but that's just the thing that the soldiers would do.
I mean, that's also what the levies are for. I just want to make that clear.
Here we go again. Okay.
It's battle.
So that is a 16 plus 3 is 19, and a 17 plus 2 is 19. So both of those are successful. So Gravest Sword levies, you'll take 2 casualties, and then I need you to make a DC 13 morale test with advantage, -1. So you'll need a 14 on one of these die in order to not take yet another casualty. Oof. Okay, both of those fail. So you take 1 more casualty. And so here I think we see. Okay, somebody roll me like a D10, please.
5.
5. Okay. Okay, so here we see Belle from the general store in hastily cobbled together armor with a pitchfork is leading this unit of levies, and they are getting routed pretty bad. But she is barely managing to hold the team together. But it's looking rough for these levies.
Oh, Belle!
Yeah. Okay, so that was their attack. That brings us to the bowmen. Oh no. They really only have one choice here.
Make it rain.
They're going for the Gravesford levies.
Gotta do it.
Okay. I need to see, where is my enemy units? Where are my enemy units?
The attack
Bowmen.
will succeed. The
They've got a
power
plus-
test will not.
They've got a +3 to attack, so that's a 14. Yeah,
Beats
that
the
succeeds.
10.
Okay, so that is the last casualty for Gravesford levies, yes? Or do you have 2? No, that's the last one.
That's the
No,
last
it's
one.
my
So
last
sorry,
one.
Anna. Your levies are broken and removed from the battlefield. And Saxton's infantry will get a chance to do a follow-up maneuver. With a command test, is it?
DC 8 command test. Yes.
Yeah. And they have advantage on that from
Being human.
being human. So that's a 13 plus 2 plus, yeah. So that is going to do it. They are going to move forward to threaten Orin's Rangers. Roz, you're up.
Yeah, I can't let that happen. Hisker's band is going to make an attack on the Saxton's infantry in front of them.
Okay.
Here we
Let her
go. Okay, so the power test, the attack is 12. Oh my gosh, where did my thing go? That's a +3. That is only an 11.
Yeah. So if you have an inspiration, you can use it if you wish.
I do, and I'm gonna.
Okay.
All right, thank you, chat. Or maybe I shouldn't thank you yet. Yeah, that's an 8,
no.
another 11.
So the Hisker's band go for that unit of infantry, but those soldiers,
Oh no.
they must fear what's behind more than they fear what's ahead, and they hold their ground. Okay, that is the end of a round, and I'm gonna add the count points button to make sure that we remember to do this, because we usually forget.
Could we also have a review now of who has inspiration and who does not?
Yeah, let's do it. Folks, Perdita, do you have inspiration?
The chat inspiration, I think I still do. Yes.
Okay.
I don't. Yes.
Shanty, do you have inspiration?
I do not.
Okay. Solomon, do you have inspiration?
I do have inspiration.
Okay. Silas.
I'm inspired.
Roz.
Roz does not have inspiration anymore.
Okay. And Enna.
No, I use mine.
Okay. So currently, Shanty, Roz, and Enna do not have inspiration. Perdita, Solomon, and Silas do. Okay, so we are now going to count points. You get, I think it's 1 point per tier of unit, yes?
Correct. So
Okay.
at the end of each round, the way that you decide if a battle is over or not, you tally all of the tiers of units, which is that Roman numeral in the top left next to their unit symbol on the tokens. And if one side has less than half of another side's points, that side has to run away.
Okay, so currently Saxon has 1 bowman and 3 infantry because they are all back on the field. So they have 4, and you all have...
We have 5. We have Hisker's band. We have 6. Solomon soldiers, Hisker's band, Orin's Rangers, Gravesford levies, and the Old Guard makes 6.
Okay. So 4 to 6. It is not over yet. Silas.
And Roz now has inspiration again.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Chat
you.
granted Roz.
Thank
inspiration.
you very much.
Silas, you're up. What you got?
Oh, okay. Yeah, looking at the infantry coming my way, Silas is going to completely ignore them and put another hail of arrows onto Saxton's bowmen.
Okay. Let her rip.
Light them up.
Light them up! I rolled a 9, but it's +3, making it an 11.
That will succeed the attack test.
12.
12
sorry.
succeeds the attack test. Their defense is 10, and you've got a 16 plus whatever is going to beat the 8 toughness. That is going to do it. And that will break Saxton's bowmen, who are removed from the battle for now.
All right.
So, Orange Rangers rain arrows down on their opposing folks. Also, we have inspiration for Shanty, and Enna has been granted. So everybody's topped up again. They really want to win this fight, friends.
Thank you.
Okay. And, so Orange Rangers, clearly the better bowmen, launching their bows into Saxon's bowmen, removing them from the field. They begin to break and hide in the trees. Any movement from the Rangers, or are you good?
No, we're going to hang out.
No, can I give you some advice?
Sure.
Move to the east, and then Saxon's infantry can't actually reach you.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And
Okay,
attack
I'm
in
going
the
to do that.
same count. Cool. Okay. Also,
Run away!
The enemy center collapses. There's no units in it. So they don't have a reserve or a center. So things, or a rear. So things are pretty rough over there. Cool. Next up is Enna. Enna, you can make a morale test, is it?
Yes, to rally a troop.
Yes.
It is essentially a DC 13 morale test. You have advantage because it is a human ancestral troop. And if you roll a nat 20, you can come back with 2 casualties. 15 is good enough.
Okay. Yes, that is exactly what you needed. Because you have a -1. No, it's not. It's 1 better. So you needed a 13. 15 minus 1 is 14. So the Graversford levies reform with 1 casualty, and they place them anywhere you would like in the center. So any of the 3 or 4 center openings that are currently available, you can replace. And Enna, you go ahead and get to take your turn.
Ooh, Belle says, we got that dog in them.
Okay.
So I can place, and then I can...
And then you can immediately take your turn.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do I have to... That's a bad guy, right?
No,
yeah.
that's James.
Oh,
This
no.
is a bad guy.
Oh, that's
This is
a bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those are,
Oh, sorry,
in fact, those are the bad guys that attacked you to begin with. I don't think they're the ones that killed you. I think the archers killed you, but
Okay. The print's so small.
It's fine.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna attack these beaches.
okay. Yeah, make your rolls. 2d20s.
8 plus, I think it's 2.
Okay.
10.
So your 8 is not going to be a successful attack unless you want to use your inspiration, I don't believe. Let me double check that and look at these infantry. No, actually, we need to know your...
Infantry or 12. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to know your power or your attack. Yeah, so that's only a 10 and you need a 12.
Okay.
So it's up to you if you want to use your inspiration for that.
Why not? Let's go!
Right?
Got
That's
the
another
dog in-
d20.
One more.
on.
Okay. Oh my god!
Poor Anna. The
Bruh.
dice are just not with you
I
today.
just...
Mm.
No. Rip.
Okay, Shanty, you're up.
Okie dokie. I'm going to go ahead and do my... Oh, didn't mean to do that many times. Sorry.
Okay. All right, so we'll use your first set of rolls there. You've got
Cool.
a 2 plus probably 2 is like 4 on your attack test. So that's not going to be a
Yikes.
successful attack. If you would like to re-roll with your inspiration, you can do. Or not.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah, might as well. We've got the thing. Let's see.
Fingers crossed.
Good things. No,
Oof.
not good things.
Brutal. The dice
Bad
have
things.
turned.
Bad things.
The dice have turned. Okay.
Bitches.
Any movement from Shanty's unit?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? No, they're gonna hold fast.
Okay. Solomon.
Yep.
So, is Solomon in the position to communicate with Roz?
Yeah, I think you guys can coordinate that way. Sure.
Solomon's going to look at Roz and he's going to say, should I move in to take out the weaker unit or should I help the Gradeford levies?
I can mop up these kittens. You should help the weaklings in the back to not stub their toes.
Unnecessary.
Understood. And Solomon turns and he issues the order to hit the Saxton's infantry beside him.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah, carve them up.
Do it.
Okay, so 17 plus 4, I think it is, at 21. That is going to hit their defense, so they'll take 1 casualty. It's a +4 on your...
Yes, it's a +4.
So that's only 11 on your power test. That will not succeed. If you'd like to use your inspiration to reroll, you can.
Sure. Why not?
Okay, 16 plus 4 is 20. That is going to deal a second casualty to that front unit of Saxon's infantry in the vanguard. Anything else from Solomon's soldiers? I think that's probably it, right?
Solomon's soldiers are going to make it. I can move, right?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Okay. Solomon's soldiers is going to move back 1 for a tactical advantage there between the two. All right.
That's
Now,
enough.
Saxton's infantry do have the option to react by making a follow-up if they wish.
I don't think they do, because I think they see trying to charge through the levies is probably going to be easier than charging through the trained soldiers. So they're going to stay where they are.
All
I don't
right,
think they
that's
see
it.
really any particular advantage. Okay, that brings us to the unit of Saxon's infantry facing the Hisker's band. So
Bring it on.
they're going to attack. Okay, so that is
Attack hits.
18
Defense
on the
is
attack,
12.
and 9 on the defense, or 9 on the toughness. So 1 casualty for the Hisker's band. Their attack roll is successful, but not their power test. So, okay. As the recently reformed band of soldiers scrambles to make their attacks on the Hisker's band, less successful than they would have liked, but still dealing some damage. Saxon's infantry are going to attack Ryan's group of Graversford levies. With, I think, the same result. So that is a 16 plus 3 is going to be 19 on their attack test, but only a 4 on their power test. So Shanty's levies are going to take 1 casualty from that bout.
Heard.
And
Gotcha.
then, I'm sorry, what?
Did I miss my turn somehow?
You did. What did I do? I skipped right through it. I'm so sorry. Let's go back and pick up Perdita's turn. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that.
All right. Well, Perdita would surely believe that the Hiskers actually have that Saxon's infantry under control. She would think that's going to be a thing. So then her decision is the Saxon's infantry that has violated our borders, but there are a lot of people around it who could attack it, and the Saxon's infantry left in the vanguard has been damaged. So I believe that she would attack the Saxon's infantry in the vanguard.
Okay. Very well.
Hoping to make it have to do a morale test or whatever. Yeah. So she's rolling 2d20s. Oh, okay. Did I only roll 1?
You did only roll 1, but that first one is successful, so just roll 1 more. Your attack test is definitely going to pass their defense.
No, I rolled in that 1.
Okay. Well,
and I think you said we don't actually have a failure. That nothing. There's
no critical failure. You can try and use your inspiration if you would like to.
Well, I definitely will try to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Because I'd like to hurt them if I. Well, now wait a moment. With 1 injury, they got 1. So where does that take them to?
They have to make a morale test.
I'm making that test
Well,
right now.
let them take the morale test.
They got a nat 20 on that morale test, so they don't regain or anything, but they don't take the additional.
All right, then I
casualty.
definitely am going to use my chat inspiration.
Okay.
Oh, and I got 16 plus, wait, let me tell you, plus power. That's
Yes.
power, so it would be 16 plus 4 is a 20.
Okay, that will beat their toughness of 12, so they do take one more casualty. They are now
2.
at 4. Oh, they do.
They
You're
take
right. It's
2
2 because cavalry do more damage.
Yes.
Forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, I do
Um,
too. I see it now, yes. So that was a good thing.
Okay. That is Perdita's turn. That we've already done the first 2 of Saxton's dudes. This last unit of Saxton's infantry is going to attack. I was going to attack Enna's levies again. I'm so sorry.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is gonna fully break Enna's levies.
No.
Many apologies. So we see Belle and her crew being chased from the battlefield, not to return this time, as the peasants from
Gravesford.
Oh, okay. And then they have wiped you out, so they are gonna make a is it command test to do a follow-up?
Follow-up? Yes, a DC 8 command test with advantage.
Okay, that is an 11, so they do that, and then they are gonna take their movement to close in on Orin's Rangers. And then Saxton's bowmen are gonna attempt to reform. With advantage, they're trying to beat a DC 13, is it?
Yes,
Whoa,
and they rolled a
natural.
nat 20.
So
Whoa,
they
whoa, whoa.
reform with 2.
Nice.
Brutal. So they reform with 2 casualties in the Vanguard because they don't have any other ranks. So they are going to pop over here. They immediately take their turn. Oh boy.
Mm.
They are going to go after your levies. Okay, so that is a 10 plus their attack. It's a 13, so you take 1 casualty, Gravesford levies. But
All
their
right.
power test is not successful. That's a 3 plus something. It's just, 3 plus 2 is 5. So,
And have we
Um,
lost our reserve?
yes. Actually, you have. Thank you. So that your reserve collapses. And
Yes, it's Tetris rules for anyone who is wondering.
Yeah.
If a single rank of the battlefield is vacated by all units, it collapses and ceases to exist.
Ah.
And all other rows, like Tetris, just blink out and stack closer to each other. This is to help force any distant units to get a little bit closer to each
Yeah.
other as the battle intensifies.
pretty much.
Cool.
Okay, Hisker's band. Roz, you're up.
All right, we're going to try to clear the Saxton's infantry off of the field here.
Okay.
And I'm going to use chat inspiration.
Brutal.
Thank you. You were so kind to have given me inspiration. I rolled a 2 the first time, and I rolled a 5 the second time. The Hisker's band is useless.
Damn, we just can't be inspired tonight.
They're too busy jangling and dancing and not busy killing.
They found a ball lit on the ground.
I don't know about y'all, but Sullivan's soldiers have been kicking ass.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, the first unit of Shanty's Gravesford levies had one really good turn in there.
Yeah.
Also,
Got just cocky.
The old guard did pretty well. Okay. Time to count points.
Right.
They have 4 points.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for us. So 4 to 6.
Wait, how is
the
that?
battle?
1,
1.
2, 3.
What
four,
is
five.
what
Oh,
tier
you
is
had 7
Saxton's
before.
bowman?
Okay. Oh, I screwed that up. It's a tier 1 unit.
Is it tier 1? Okay,
Yeah,
so
all
1,
theirs
2,
are tier
3,
1. Okay,
4.
so we're 4 to 6.
Yes.
Silas,
4
you're
to
up.
6.
God, this is a nail biter, guys. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Silas, you are, or excuse me, Jesse, you are muted.
Oh yeah, sorry. I did. I was just like
I'm
staring at the
back.
battlefield.
Okay, so the Gravesford Levy's standing right in front of me. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move first. So I'm going to run a little bit, and we're going to aim right past the Gravesford's levies and hit the Saxton's infantry right here.
And now I think my guys have taken their reaction since their last activation, so I don't think they can do another follow-up yet.
Yes, that is true.
So
Okay. All right, let's see what happens. An 11 plus 3 makes it a 14, and 11 plus 2 makes it a 13.
Both of those will succeed.
All
So
right.
that is going to break Saxton's
Nice.
infantry. This unit of Saxton's infantry is broken for the first time as it is knocked from the field.
Fuck on out of here.
Gravesford levies,
Hell yeah.
shanties, you have the option, if you would like, to make a morale or a command test to try to move into the square they just vacated. You don't have to. It's a tactical decision. If you want to go after these bowmen, you can move forward and go after them like on your next turn, or not. If you think you want to stay and try and move backwards and keep the infantry from attacking your rangers, that is a tactical decision you will have to make, but you kind of have to make it now because your reaction will determine which direction you go. So
No, I'm staying to protect the Rangers.
okay. All right. So Silas, you've moved, you've attacked. I don't think you have anything else.
Appreciate it. Correct.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Well, that brings us to Enna's levies. Not Enna's. That brings us to Shanty's
No.
levies. Oh no, because Enna's levies are wiped, so we're gonna
Yeah.
skip to Shanty's levies. Sorry, Enna.
Okay. All right, excellent. I'm gonna actually go ahead and move them back.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go ahead and attack the infantry there.
Yeah. Okay, go for it.
Damn.
Okay, so that
Yikes.
18 plus whatever that is, I think it's plus 3 or something, plus 2. That is a successful attack test.
Okay.
And then I don't think you have. Do you have inspiration back?
I don't, unfortunately, now. I burned
So
both.
that is one casualty
Okay.
against that unit. And that's it for those
Sweet.
levies. Solomon, you're up.
Cool beans.
Solomon's going to try to hit the Saxton's infantry beside the Gravesford levies as hard as they can.
Let her rip. Okay, so the 17 plus, you probably have a 4 there. That is going to be
4.
one casualty. And then 7 plus 4 is only
Nice.
11, so that's not enough on your power test unless you would like to try to
So
use your
close.
inspiration if you have it.
I don't think I have it.
Okay.
I do not. I used it last time.
Okay,
So-
so that is one more casualty on Saxton's infantry. Perdita, cavalry are up. What would you like to do?
Perdita does not like the look of any of Solomon's people being on her side of the battlefield, but those bowmen that can go anywhere are also really a problem. And so she, I believe, would go after, and they're damaged. They're pretty damn damaged. So I think she would go after Saxton's bowmen. And I'm going to
Okay.
roll 2 d20s, and I'm going to do very well. I'm rolling
Yes.
a 19 and a 19. Hold on, let me count it so I will learn. So 19 plus 4 on my attack is 23, and that certainly is going to hit you.
Indeed.
And on my power is also a plus 4, so that is also a 23.
Yeah, so the bowmen who rushed back onto the battlefield and attacked are charged by the old guard, by Perdita's cavalry, and are wiped from the field, this time fully broken and fleeing the battlefield completely. As they had been broken previously, they are now unable to reform. And that is Perdita's turn. That brings us to Saxton's infantry. They are going to go after the Hisker's band.
Bring it on.
Oh,
Okay, so 2 plus 3 is 5. That is not going to beat your attack test. They are going to take their move and scoot over one.
Yeah, why not? I'm going to try to attempt to do a follow-up.
Okay. Sure.
That's a 17
That
plus
will make that
1. Excuse me, plus 2. That'll do it.
Okay, so you
You
charge
think you
into
can run from me?
the vanguard and to chase them. The Saxton's infantry are going to make another morale test with advantage to try to reform the one that was broken last time. 16 plus 1 is 17. So this unit does reform. They are going to... Oh, man. Yeah, the smartest thing for them to do is to reform here. They have 1 casualty left. They're going to charge forward and attack Shanty's levies. Led
Understood.
by Ryan. Not going to do it. That is a 4 plus 3 is 7, and a 2 plus 2 is 4. So they charge back into battle, pressuring the levies from both sides now, but unfortunately, they are too disorganized from having been broken. They can't muster the power they need to really do any damage. Okay, this unit of Saxon's infantry is also going to go after the levies as the only thing standing between them and these archers. And that is the same situation. The 4 plus 3 is 7. And then that's not successful, so their power test doesn't matter. They are also, Ryan and the levies are dug in, protecting Orin's Rangers.
They're
to
holding
the last.
fast, man.
Man, holding fast. Incredible. And then the bowmen are gone and cannot come back. Hisker's band, you're up.
Oh, and as you are trying to decide, and as
Oh,
you
you
are trying
cut
to
out.
decide what to, well, dadgummit.
We hear you now.
Am I,
Oh,
as Roz is trying to decide what to do, in enthusiasm, she hears as the cavalry races past her that Perdita raises her voice and gives that very same yell that Perdita did when she was that Roz did when she was rallying her troops.
Gotcha.
Roz did not even know that Perdita knew how to do that yell. And then, from the back of her horse, her tail swoops down in the air and slaps Roz right over one ear, which means in Tabaxi talk, "Go girl, I love you." And then she races away on her horse.
And Beast has been given inspiration by chat. Thank you, Ace. And
third strike, right?
there's a turn. So Roz, here it is. They've got 1 casualty left.
Oh my
What you got?
goodness. I'm going to pre-burn inspiration
Okay.
to grant myself advantage
So
on
just
my.
go ahead and roll 2d20. This is for your attack roll.
This is just the attack, folks. Please. Okay.
Okay.
A 12 plus 4 is going to be a 16.
Okay, that's gonna do. Go ahead and make your power test anyway, just to see. I guess.
Power test is 12 plus 3, 15.
Okay, so that unit of Saxon's infantry is broken. Hisker's band. You have an opportunity to follow up if you would like.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Okay.
Save the best bits for me. No!
And with a 9 plus 1, a 10, they make it.
Okay.
They follow up.
And then you have
and
movement.
then they will additionally move to support Solomon's soldiers, collapsing the enemy vanguard.
You do collapse the enemy vanguard.
Thank you, chat, for all of your patience and channel points. You made this possible. I want to shout out all the litters of Hercules. My Tabaxi brethren, they really held it down. They kept me humble in times when my ego was swelling.
wow.
They said no, actually, and I really appreciate that. And I just want to say, keeping it real, for telling it like it is, and for chat to really be there when I needed you.
Okay.
I love all of you. Thank you.
So we're gonna count. Time to count points. Saxton's folks only have 2 points.
And we have 6.
Okay, so with that, seeing that they are wildly outclassed, half of the army fleeing behind them, I believe they have to now try to make the withdrawal maneuver or the retreat maneuver.
Yes, it is the
Yes, the
retreat
withdrawal
maneuver. Excuse
Okay.
me, withdrawal.
So they must make DC 8 command tests and be.
No, it is retreat. It is.
Yeah, it's retreat. It's on page 110 of the thing. Okay, so these two units are going to make DC 8 command tests with advantage. So
if they succeed, the unit will be removed and its current casualties will be recorded to fight another day. On a failure, it will suffer 1 additional casualty as it suffers losses from our Castle Rend units, harrying them and picking off the stragglers.
And they both succeed. So one of them is a 16 plus 2 is 18. The other is a nat 20 plus 2 is 22. And so both units of Saxton's infantry flee the battle, leaving our heroes victorious.
Cowards.
So, congratulations on your first successful battle. And that actually takes us basically right to the end of our time. Holy cow, guys. We made it exactly through a regular combat and a warfare battle. You guys did great with the battle. Super proud of you. And that is where we're going to leave our episode tonight. So if anyone would like to help us find somebody to go raid while we do our outro, I would super appreciate that. And as always, we're going to kind of just remind everybody who we are, where we can be found on the internet, if indeed we can be found on the internet. And we're going to start, of course, with Bonus Mom.
And I'm not muted, so I don't have to curse. That's very good. I am Bonus Mom. I love the chat, and I love all of these new players and our regular players and all of our NPCs. And it is so exciting to be back in Siege of Castle Rend, Regent of Bedegar, as we are now called. And I am playing Perdita, who is a Tabaxi rogue, who is liking Raz better and better every day. And as Bonus Mom, again, I can be found all over the place. I'm having the time of my life. Please come visit my TikTok tomorrow, TikTok Live, about noon tomorrow. I will be talking about this and loving on everybody that enters in. And thank you all so much for being here.
Okay. Excellent news. And Kyla. Also, remind folks not only who you are as a person, where you can be found on the internet, but also who you played tonight. I think Bonus Mom did that, but I forgot to say it to begin with.
Will do. Cool. Well, hello, I'm Kyla, and thanks for watching. I was playing Chanterelle or Shanty, our little druid in the party, druid bard, and I can be found different places on the internet. The Kai2D2 in chat is my handle, so you can find me there.
Excellent,
Thanks.
excellent. And Daniel.
I'm Daniel, and I was playing Solomon tonight, and I can be found in the Bonus Mom Tavern. I don't really stream or anything like that, but hey.
Right on. And Beast.
Hey y'all, it's Beast. I played Raz Hiskers, the Tabaxi Valor Bard, who has put on a little weight, but has calmed down a little bit. And, is learning the trials and tribulations of motherhood and all it takes to keep a bunch of rascals organized. Without chat, I don't think I would have landed a single hit. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Hope to see you in 2 weeks.
Excellent news. Jesse.
Hi, I'm Jesse. I played Never Miss Silas, the Count of Rend, helped out by his buddy, of course, Orid, the guy down the street who's homeless and reaching for change. You can find me at Spectro Sofa on YouTube. I just put out a sneak peek of episode 14 of Naruto Abridged. It's very cool, so go see it if you'd like to. Other than that, I'll be here in the next 2 weeks, so we'll see you then.
Excellent news. And Taylor. Sorry for all the spam in chat. I'm trying to get a raid command set up because I hadn't done one before, and I really should have a long time ago. Anyway, Taylor.
I am Taylor. I play Anna, the cleric wood elf, and it's been really fun tonight. It's been great to be in chat with everybody and all the inspirational love going around. It's been so fun, and I miss D&D. A month without D&D is like a year without rain. So yeah, thank you all so much. I'm not really, I have places on the internet, but I'm not like streaming or anything. Maybe someday. I keep saying that, but it is what it is.
Right on. And of course, I am Pixel. You can find me here GMing at Ages of Einor. We have this campaign will go live again in 2 weeks, and next week we will have Curse of Strahd. Also, some good friends of our Reams Streams over on Facebook are doing a charity stream next Saturday. So not tomorrow, but the 15th. And at some point during that, I will be doing a D&D one-shot for those guys. As part of their stream, it will take place over there, not over here. So that is facebook.com/Reams Streams. And they are doing a charity stream for someone that they know who is having a lot of medical bills. And they are trying to take the proceeds from that stream to help them with that. So I am very happy. I'll be introducing, so that we'll have some brand new players. The Reamses themselves have never played before. We have someone who's kind of experienced, but who's played 3.5 and not 5e. And then I think Bonus Mom from this stream and Sam Omega from our Curse of Strahd stream will also be joining us. So that should be very fun. We still have some details to iron out, but I believe that we are going to have that be happening over on their stream. So they are in our friends list. If you're watching and would like to go follow them, as I said, they're on facebook.com/ReamStreams. I am also very excited for the fact that we made it through a whole stream and it didn't go down. Hooray!
Yes, praise the Lord. Yes,
It's 3 hours of streaming and it actually didn't crap out on us, despite a few frame drops here and there, but nothing bad enough. So that is great. Also, friends, you can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/HammerandPixel, where I stream video games and talk about literature and philosophy and economics and a whole bunch of stuff that I probably shouldn't talk about on stream, but I do anyway because I'm a fucking rebel. So anyway, very excited for that stuff. I just started a playthrough of Final Fantasy II, and I'm having actually more fun with that than I thought. People said it was not that good of a game, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. And then we have been suggested to go raid AGF Arsenal, I believe it is, who has raided us once or twice.
Yeah, they're playing Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, they're actually playing Curse of Strahd. And I think they're maybe behind where we are in the adventure, so I don't think you're going to have to worry about spoilers if you've been watching along with us. I think they're in the Death House last I heard, so that should be very exciting. And yeah, so we'll go hit that up after we do our outro song. The only other thing I have to say is, as always, that we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for this silly little thing that we do on Friday nights. It honestly means so much more than I can truly say, that everyone is hanging out, interested in our shenanigans, watching the stories that we're telling, having fun together, throwing channel points at chat to try to get our boys and girls through. It's amazing. As always, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, as well as in our Discord, which you can join if you think that you like watching us play in D&D. You can actually come and play D&D with us and a whole community of people who play D&D over there. And as always, finally, I just want to leave you with a little request from me to you, which is to please, until the next time I see you, do me a little favor and be a little kinder to yourself than you think you deserve. Because I promise, friends, it still is not close to actually being more than what you really deserve. So thank you so much for hanging out. And we're going to pop out of here and go raid AGF Arsenal once the song is done playing. So thanks, everybody. Bye. Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe,
together they will write their own tale of glory, rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of